Time for Bomber Banter. Now over to Fiona.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to Bomber Banter. I certainly didn't think I was going to be doing a live for a little while yet, but can't say I'm too mad about it because I have missed you all. How are you all? I know it hasn't, that's probably a loaded question, isn't it? But I hope you're all been well outside of Essendon theme. I am conscious that, everyone is probably feeling a little bit triggered and edgy about the Zach Merrett news today, and that's why we're here, and that's what this platform get my shit together. That's what this platform is for. So let's vent. Let's get all the frustration out. My head has been spinning all bloody day. I don't know about you, but hands up if you actually got any work done today, because I certainly did it, not outside of Bomber Banter content. My phone has blown up, journos in my DMs, just blown up. So this is a very good excuse. I think the club, and we're going to all tune into Brad Scott on AFL 360 together. The trick here is hopefully my Wi-Fi, my internet doesn't shit itself and I can stream KO and this, but we'll deal with that in a sec. So I do have it going on in the background. So if anybody is listening, it's on mute. So just alert me to when Brad Scott actually starts talking. So yeah, I mean, hi, everybody. Hello, Dave, Brett, Shaky Snake. I mean, what horrible timing from your wife. For anybody who doesn't know, hey, Kate, hey, Langy, Carlton supporters, Drip is Zach Merrett's new clothing brand that he's been relentlessly pushing on his socials the last week. And my God, does this not just show the lack of self-awareness from this guy? If in your head you know that you are going out to meet an opposition coach on Tuesday night, maybe you go dark on your socials and you stop pushing your fucking clothing brand, because he's been doing it for a week. Now, if that doesn't show, in fact, I'm telling you, being semi-expert in this realm, I'm telling you that shows the lack of awareness from that individual, and I can guarantee you that Andy McGrath would not do that kind of thing, and I'm willing to bet my life on that. Pete, how are you? Jade and Richard, thank you, everyone. Shelley, thank you, everyone, for being here. Hey, Jace, how are you? How are you feeling? Andrew, yeah, I mean, it feels a bit like that. I think the elephant in the room was very much these more experienced players being a very big gap between them and our younger players, and the spirit with which our younger players played this year, and that which, A, we couldn't get our more experienced players on the park, but B, that they just lacked that energy and spirit of which I speak of. Brad, you're happy with him going if it's in his heart or not. Look, I will say this, and taking into account my phone is blown up today, so I'm taking bits and bobs from all my sources, all the screenshots I've been sent, all the conversations that I've been screenshot and sent, and I'm collating them to tell you this. I think the club is furious. I think they would have accepted and probably predicted that Zach Merrett had questions and concerns about the club's future, because, to be honest, he has every year brought this up in his exit interviews. And so the club would have expected a bit of turmoil in that case. But under no circumstances would the club or anybody at the club, I'm including teammates in this, being blindsided, that no one would have expected or anticipated that he would have actually actively met with an opposition coach. No one predicted this. And I will give it to him. It is fucking ballsy, but in my eyes, it's disgusting. And it's a betrayal that crosses a line for me. What about you? How many of you think it crosses a line? How many of you feel like it was deliberate? How many of you feel like it was a deliberate crossing of the line in order to make sure that Essendon actually forced Essendon's hand? There's no conceivable way he can stand in front of this group and lead them spiritually and in any good faith. And so, has this been calculated? Has Tom Petroro, Zach's manager, and Zach this might be a bit conspiratorial, but this is where my mind has gone today. Where do you guys all sit? I fuck his clothing brand. Surely the sales would have taken it. I mean, but he's been drumming it for a week, so everybody who's bought it can't cancel those orders. I mean, I shouldn't say this, but set him on fire. Fuck's sakes. Hey G, how are you? Hey Humi, how are you doing? Yeah, I certainly feel like they're beyond repair in my heart, but that's probably a very emotional thing, and a part of me just thinks that they've made this too hard on purpose. That hooded kid, he should step down as captain. Yeah, I agree. I mean, he should step down and we should just keep him. Like, that is what I'd like to see our club do, and stand in strength and do that, and put Nick Martin as captain. Is it a quality hoodie? Shaky Snake, confirm or deny, please. Is it a quality hoodie at least? Can you run it through the machine a few times and see if it gets the little whatchamacalls? Hello, Sean. Sean, I need to tell you, I hate being called Fee, and I tell you that because I love you and I love the rest of this chat. And if I don't call you on it, then the rest of the chat will get grumpy at me because I've called them on it. So I love you with love. It's Fiona. I think it's a little bit of ego, and I think it's a lack of self-awareness and a lack of respect for the position that you hold as captain. There are different rules when you sign on for captain. There just is, whether you like it or not. And that's how seriously captaincy has to be taken. I mean, it's not just a title, and he begged for it. He begged for this role, and now he's jumping ship when it's getting really hard. And that's what pisses me off a lot. Hey, Jono. Personally, I have no loyalty to players, coaches, or administrators. My only loyalty is to winning a premiership. If the club can turn it into long-term win, then great. I mean, I hear ya. I do. I mean, I feel... Thank you, chat. Thank you for not making me... I mean, I did say it because I didn't see this, but thank you for having my back in this regard. Rump hole on the hill, old chap. You'll forgive me if I just, shorten your name. Essendon got a new strength coach. Will it work? Will the players get in the gym? I mean, let's actually step aside for 1 sec and also remember that we did appoint a new strength coach. I haven't even given it a time of day, so I actually have to find his name. Apologies to David Regan. Haven't even looked into him. So what do we know? What do we know about him, chat? Oh, all right. Brad Scott started. Let's have a listen. Can you guys hear that? My TV?
Very excited about the young talent on the list and has got full confidence in them. But he's as hungry for success as any player that I've ever encountered. He's a man in a rush. He's 29. He's concerned that will the young talent mature enough in time for him to enjoy that success. But the reality is that this time last year, we recommitted to Zach. We felt he was underpaid.
Good, Brad.
Someone who was performing at such a high level.
Good. That's handing the potato back, the hot potato back. Very good. We like it.
So we committed to him. He committed to us. And like our CEO, who moved into stay committed to the club, I came and made a commitment to the club. I intend to see my commitment through, and I
has he cheated on you, or 40 cents taking that meeting yesterday?
Look, I think we've all got to accept that the old school, the old timers, Gary.
That was a nice little backhand from Brad. Good. Very good. Oh, nice little throw to Sam.
I think you've got to accept that the players are going to do this, and now coaches are doing it.
One coach is doing it. Let's be clear. One coach.
Zach's a process-driven guy. He's got a checklist. He'll go through his process. He likes to come to his own conclusions. So in a way, this is Zach just doing his due diligence. But it feels like we've done our due diligence 2 out of the last 3 years, and we have a really clear vision. It's been a really challenging year for a number of reasons. But we've all made a commitment, and the thing about a commitment is that the reward at the end of it is not guaranteed. But the thing I've learned about success is that it's fantastic when you get it, but it's the journey and the effort and the blood, sweat, and tears that you put in to the process to get the success that's the reward, not the outcome. It's not the premiership medal or the winning finals. It's the work that you put in with other people, the commitment you make to people. That's the reward. You know, the outcome is just reward.
Look at his face.
If he comes to you and says he doesn't believe in your vision anymore and he wants to go and chase elsewhere, will you entertain trading?
Well, the reality is it's his vision as well. I mean, he's invested in our club and he's been kept right up to speed with the vision. And it's been a challenging year. I mean, we started the year at 6.
Look at his body language, family. Look. It's serious.
Well documented throughout the year. So,
Means business.
I can't stress enough that I love this bloke. Like, I think he's an incredible player. I've rarely seen anyone like him. And our playing group almost make fun of me for constantly, referring to Zach and his on-field deeds. And his will to win is unbelievable. And if he does have a chink in his armour, it's that will to win and that desperation for success. He sometimes wears his heart on his sleeve and he shows that frustration. But if that's the biggest chink that he's got, it's not the worst one.
But if he says he wants out,
Ooh.
you hold him against his will.
And our club, he's contracted captain. So our club's position is that we will not be trading him under any circumstances.
Can he still be a captain if he requests a trade? Can he still lead your football club?
Is that better, Richard?
I'm watching you. You feel you look like you're really, personally hurt by this?
Yeah, Lyon's right. He is.
It's not about me personally. It's about our club. I feel like I talk to our supporters. I talk to our members. And at the end of all of those conversations, I say the same thing to all of our supporters. I say, stick with
This
it.
is good, guys.
And almost to a man or woman, they say, through thick and thin, I'm rusted on. They've been through some really difficult times. And the real carrot for me to come to Essendon was to see this through. So, it has been a challenge. But again, I understand Zach. I love Zach, and he's just so desperate for success that, he wears his heart on his sleeve and he goes through these moments. But the club's position is he's our captain. He's contracted for 2 years. We've adjusted his contract to reflect his performance, and we expect him to see it through.
It does.
Can he be captain?
Yeah, of course he can be captain, because the thing about no one's perfect, and I talk about there are a lot of players that I think are geniuses, but there are a lot of flawed geniuses too. No one's perfect, and I don't think anyone's captaincy is perfect. Anyone's coaching ability is perfect. It's a learning process, and so of course he can be captain, but
Interesting.
will it be a challenge based on this situation? Absolutely, it will be. But
Good.
I've seen him overcome bigger challenges than this.
I want to push you on it because effectively you could be holding him against his will. You're going to say, no, you stay, you're contracted. So
Good questions, at least.
Black and white,
Right.
You're holding the player against his will. I've got to say, I find it hard for him then to be a leader of your footy club.
Yeah, I don't see it
Good question.
that way. He made a commitment. Players and a lot of
Notice ramming home that.
at the moment with just sign long-term contracts. If you want to move, we'll move you. Well, that's not the world I live in. The world I live in is you make a commitment and you see it through.
4 times.
That's got to this in him. I know you love him. You say you love him. The players say you love him to the point where it's embarrassing. Yet he still is exploring. Is that disappoint you?
Yeah, well, I know it's probably too. It's not a great analogy because your family's your family, but your players are they feel like surrogate family, and in a way
You're being cheated on.
I treat them like I treat my kids, and my kids make mistakes all the time. I'm still their father, and I'm still his coach, and my job is to lead the club and to have Zach by my side, helping us through this difficult time is really important.
Is what Sam Mitchell's doing fair,
No.
reasonable?
Oh, well,
Go on, Brad. Go on.
I think the world's changing.
No.
There'd be a time and a place that I'd be, pretty disappointed. But the reality is now that the gloves are off and all's fair in love and war, and that's the path they want to go down. Then we'll play that game too.
So have you spoken?
That was.
Not today. I spoke to him yesterday. I speak to him almost every day.
So in the aftermath of this, is The implications
Interesting.
of
He hasn't
making a
spoken
mistake, but
to
when
Zach
he does
today,
sit,
Brad Scott said.
when you talk to him next, what if he said, "I'm eyes wide open here, and I'm done. I've got no energy left for it." Right.
The board's position is that he's a contracted captain and he made a commitment, and I support that position.
Oh, he's saying that again.
Your relationship with your senior players. So, if Brad wants out, if Draper wants to change, if Ridley wants out, is that in question now? Do you sit there and look at that or not?
No, for a start, I mean, my relationship with Zach is very good. So, and he's spoken publicly to that. So, regardless of what happens, that will never change. Draper, I think, is a completely different situation. For a start, he's an uncontracted free agent who,
Love it.
over the last 10 years, has had an ACL, a PCL, chronic groin hip problems, now a ruptured Achilles. He's never played more than 15 games in any single season. I don't think we can begrudge him for being mentally and physically exhausted and feeling like he needs, in his words, a fresh start. So the fact that he's waited until September to make a decision that he was so torn to make talks to that it wasn't easy, that he didn't just want out. He was, as I said, mentally and physically exhausted and in a difficult spot, and he's made a decision that the competition.
I'm not surprised.
In terms of free agency.
It's going to start to lose more hair too soon.
Yeah, Ridley.
Here we go.
A lot of players I was excited to coach when I came to Essendon. Jordan was one of those. Unfortunately, I haven't had the opportunity to do that. I mean, just not only has he not played, he hasn't trained. So, we have made significant changes to our high performance team. The appointment of Matt Innes is a coup for us. As someone that we hold in extremely high regard. We've made another appointment in our high performance area, so we've revamped that space. And again, I would expect someone of Jordan Ridley's talent and capability to be frustrated with the last couple of years. But again, we went back, felt he was under remunerated for the level of capability and talent that he has, and we recontracted him for another 4 years. So we made the commitment to him, and he'll be seeing out his 4 years with us.
How significant
that was strong.
Strategy changed from, so you took the job in September 2022 to where we sit here now?
I think it always changes and evolves. I mean, there's always a plan. Every club's got a plan, but it changes based on acquisitions, players who go, players who inform, all of those things. But I think that I have a bias to want to build, and our position in the draft this year. We've got at this stage 4 picks inside 25. So
thanks, Sean, for your
our position is that
openness and your view. We love our Oppo supporters in here, the good ones.
Which again speaks to Zach. He loves the talent, but is it going to get there quickly enough for him? And I think that's a valid question for him. The simple answer is, Jared, it hasn't changed that much. It's evolved a little bit, but clearly we need to keep investing in elite talent. And the only way you can, or the easiest way to bring in elite talent is through the draft, and that's what we're targeting.
So you're going to be closer to ground zero in year 4, though, than you would have forecast, aren't you? Like, this is the moment of gathering the elite talent out of the draft, and that's a long road to hoe.
Yeah, and it's a very difficult road too. But again, I was under no illusion as to the challenge that this job presented.
Spot on, Jace. I've never seen him like this.
And if you look at this year's been really difficult with injuries, but the silver lining to the injuries has been the exposure of young players that are going to be very good players for Essendon for a long period of time. So yes, it'll be a challenge for us, but we start the year 6 and 4. I've got enormous faith in the players on our list, and we'll keep investing and building it. And as I said at the start, the thing about success is it's the effort you put into it and that reward for effort that gives you the satisfaction, not just the outcome.
Is there any part of this that can turbocharge? You want to build, you go back to the draft, decisions that you make here can give you an even bigger hand in this draft.
Yeah, I mean, again, these things are whole of club decisions, but Zach aside, Jordan's contract, he will not be traded under any circumstances. But I mean, the reality is Sam's exercised his free agency rights, so there'll be compensation for that. So, yeah, it certainly does add to what's already 4 picks inside 25.
Do you, the Essendon faithful, they'll all be watching and listening. So what is the overwhelming message or underlying message you want to leave them with tonight? They would still be sitting here going, I know, I love that you've fronted up, and I love that you're answering the questions, but the bottom line is the question mark remains over Zach Merrett, clearly our best player.
Yeah, and I think the reasons for Zach going through this process is that he's so hungry for success, and his question is, will this elite young talent mature in time for him to be part of it?
Good.
That leading's difficult.
Hard to impress Kane.
Being a captain and accepting that responsibility is difficult. But the thing that I've observed at Essendon, and our club's been through some really difficult times, they keep fronting up. They're frustrated, bordering on angry, but they stick with us. And, I think it's other clubs are jealous of Essendon supporters because what they've been through, other clubs might capitulate. Our club will still be here in another 150 years. And
I don't know if anybody's jealous of us.
we'll go through some short-term difficulties that'll make it all worthwhile.
Do you need Zach to state publicly and to look you in the eye and say, I'll be with you come October?
Yeah, I think this
Yes.
will take a long time. I mean, I would also add that Zach Merrett was exhausted by the end of the year. I mean, he broke his hand, could have easily said there's no point coming back. He played under duress. He is, in so many ways, such an incredible on-field leader. He needs a break. He needs a rest, and I don't begrudge him
A mental refresh.
Letting me do the talking at the moment.
Brad, we appreciate you fronting up.
Yep. Thanks.
Essendon coach Brad.
I wonder if that's it. Is that it now? Is that because usually there's 2 coaches, no, and they come back after the break and they talk a bit more. But is that it now? Is he gonna? Did they just do it all in one go? Because let me know so I know if I can switch off, and not overwhelm my internet because it does feel the overwhelm. All right, I've popped the link in the chat. Come on, give me your thoughts. If you feel like, don't be scared. Just jump on. Nobody can see you when you click this link. Only I can see you. I can't hear you. You're a little box at the bottom of my screen. Don't be scared. Please join me and let me know how you feel and vent. I, for one, that is the best, most, I guess, open for a guy who holds his cards very close to his chest energetically. His energy is always very closed off because he's putting on a very confident front and he wants to lead from the front and he wants to portray a everything's okay image and front. I feel like that's the lowest I've seen his walls, Brad Scott. As I said before anybody got here, or only 12 of you were here, they weren't happy, and these things matter a lot to a guy like Brad Scott. It's offensive that he went and did this, Zach Merrett, and this feels like it's been manipulated by the manager who said, let's go and do it. If you actually feel this strongly, let's go and do it. It's like Zach Merrett didn't stop and think what this actually means as a captain to be going and having dinner with an opposition coach. It's one thing to get your manager to chat through to Sam Mitchell directly, but you don't actually actively go. Yeah, I agree, Shaky Snake. He was exasperated, but his energy was low, which means that when you're vulnerable like that, and he clearly was very vulnerable, you don't have the strength to hold those metaphorical, walls up. And his walls were down. And how many times did he say, I counted up to 5, but how many times did he say the word committed? I do feel a little bit better knowing that he's not going to take he's desperate to get out and the pressure from the media to if the player wants to go, then you just got to let him go. Especially in Ridley's case, Merrett has lost my trust. So I'm at this point where I feel too pained right now to even look at Merrett, but Ridley hasn't gone and done this. Ridley's just perhaps said maybe I could look elsewhere, but Merrett has actively done the deed, basically, and that's ruined it for me. Alrighty, let's chat to some people. Hello, Jace.
Hey, how's it going, Fiona? How you doing?
Oh, look, I feel better for being here now and chatting to everyone. How are you? How did you take the news?
Yeah, it's been a rough day as well. Like you, just my focus has been on this for most of the day. Again, a lot of messages going through all the groups, and I did see that you were having this tonight, so I was like, really, I'm psyched for it. And also just watching Brad Scott there, that was quite interesting. So yeah, happy to be here.
So what, okay, take me back for 6 hours, 5 hours now. My God, I blinked and 5 hours went by and I hadn't done a thing. But what was take me back to your first instinct, like trace yourself back. What was the first thought literally that went through your head, or the first couple of thoughts?
Yeah, a bit like you with the video you came out earlier today. Very disappointed and feel a little bit betrayed. And kind of, I feel same as Brad Scott felt. I could tell he was angry. I could tell. I thought he was really good tonight and just been really sound. But yeah, just disappointed in Zach for a captain. It's just not a good look. And I don't know. I don't know where we can go from here. Clearly, Brad Scott's got his opinion, but yeah, Zach's got a bit to answer for here, I think.
Yeah. Do you think it's untenable? Like, there are a lot of people who, can't see him going back to the club, and certainly can't see him captaining this young, impressionable group who are going to be looking to a leader, in every sense, spiritually, physically. Is it completely shot? I mean, keeping in mind that it's all very raw, and because the way I see it is, in fairness, Brad Scott alluded to it, that it's not going to be easy, he said, but he can keep the captaincy, but it's not going to be easy. And to me, Brad Scott really knows the degree of the pain that Zach Merrett potentially has caused his teammates and the fans.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think it is. I don't think any great leader or great captain, for what he's done today and what he's obviously been doing in the last couple of weeks, talking to other clubs or even thinking about that, can just come back to this and say, I'm the leader, guys, and they're all going to jump on board. I think some of the other players now are going to have doubts over his commitment. And I think I don't think he can come back for sure in the team, but whether he can lead, I don't believe so. I think it's at this point now with the supporters and, like I said, with the other players, I just don't see that being possible. Brad Scott looks like he's thinking differently, but he's also a bit like all of us. I could tell he's on emotion at the moment.
Yeah, and I mean, it's safe to say that the club didn't know that was happening, and I can absolutely confirm that. And Brad Scott did not know that was happening. Again, they would have assumed that Zach Merrett would have had grievances, but never would they have thought he would have gone and done this. So whilst Brad Scott went on and on about how much he loves him, I'm reading behind those lines, and you're seeing a guy who's standing up for his kid, basically, to the teacher, but gone home and told the kid off for being a dipshit, that is where this is sitting right now. And I think the only thing, and I think Richard said it in the chat, but now if there's any chance of coming back, he's got to sit down with almost every player in small groups, and eyeball them and actually spill his heart out and actually talk through and be vulnerable with these players, because he's an introvert. He's, on the spectrum, and I've never fully believed he's had that ability to connect and to be totally open the way that a Dyson Heppel was totally had the ability to be vulnerable. I don't know that Zach Merrett has that ability, but one thing I do know is that it's going to take him to be vulnerable to get back and to undo or to heal what the damage that he's done.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like Brad Scott has said tonight, and obviously we've all known this, he's obviously driven to succeed, which is a great quality to have in a leader. But like you've just mentioned, there's other qualities he probably needs to improve at. Even Brad Scott said, that's one of his downfalls as well, in a way, that he's so driven that this is probably why he's so frustrated. But the reality is, hopefully, I mean, because I want him to stay, because I don't want him to go at all. Just got to realize, like, let's be realistic. Most teams with 18 to 20 players out this season would not have done well. So I could understand, kind of like what you said in your video this afternoon. If we had a full list and we lost 13 games in a row, well, fair enough. I can understand why he'd be more frustrated. But we've got to be honest, this season was just crazy injuries. Like, no team could adjust with that. So, I think he needs to, like Brad Scott said, maybe get away from it. He probably burnt out a little bit towards the end of the year, and think about this more on probably an emotional sense, and also subjectively as well, and objectively, to see what goes from there. But yeah, it's just very disappointing, and I was annoyed about Draper as well. I was just as angry actually about Draper and what he said.
Yep.
I don't know if we're going to be talking about that tonight as well, but
Of course.
Draper, to me, I'm kind of even more angry actually, just the way he said, like, oh yeah, he's, the usual comment about him leaving and thanking all the club and all that. I'm like, dude, we gave you so many opportunities. We gave you opportunity. We gave you all this time when you were injured, and then you just run off. Like, I'm not a big fan of that at all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I agree. I was angry at the statement that he put out. He projected onto the fan base and confused the fan base by making himself the victim in that moment. And I didn't think that had class, by saying that it was the injuries and he's been mentally fatigued. And maybe that's the hardened part of me that's been through the saga and have seen the turmoil that the players through the saga went through, and the heartache and the heartbreak. And there's this Draper who, I mean, he hasn't got it on the park, but how much of that is due to his accountability in his rehab and his antics off the field, and him not getting himself right at the start of his career. So I didn't like the little swipe on the way out, but hey, what are you going to do? Yeah. It was poor taste.
Definitely poor taste. And it's the same even when I heard, because I was in Brisbane in the Gold Coast last week on holiday, and I was reading even about Ridley, and it's the same thing. I was saying to my friend, because he's also an Essendon supporter, I'm like, again, take some accountability. Like, you're the one that's been injured for so many seasons. So you can blame the performance staff, which we now know they've made changes. We had a change today. We had another change last week, which is positive. But at the end of the day, it comes down to you and your accountability, and how are you managing your injury? Are you doing crossing all the T's and dotting all the I's to make sure you're fully fit? So yeah, it's some of the club, but it's some of these individuals as well. And Ridley's certainly one of them. So again, I mean, Brad Scott was really clear about him tonight as well, which I love that comment. He's like, he's not going anywhere, which I think is good. But I think he needs to realize players like Ridley, Parrish, and some of these others, they've really got to take some accountability. And hopefully with these new performance managing decisions, that we can go forward with that. Because I think I said the last time I was on here, that's really the key to all this as well.
Yeah, and it certainly always has. It's rung a question in my mind forever that Merrett's been there, that he's the one with the high training loads and the high training standards, and you hear that he's just, as I want to bring up Annalise's view of Merrett. And you're right, Annalise. My sense is he's rigid and hyperfixated on process and not a strong communicator. Never seen him take a moment to come to the fence and sign a kid's jumper on game day. You're spot on, Annalise. And an extension of this comment is that if his training standards are elite, right, why are not half the group's training standards just as elite? Because as a captain, if that is your one thing, that your training standards are so elite, and I don't question that they are, you should have at least 5, 6, 7, 8 other players up there with you. They should be up there with you. And if you are a wonderful communicator and have a wonderful ability and exceptional ability to connect with players, you don't even have to try to make them come on board with you and raise standards. They just want to do it. And I've always questioned it. Merrett is like, he's over there with his great training standards. He's over there, but there's no one with him. Now,
Yeah, there's no one's
sometimes you've got
running
to
on board.
drag players over there with you. That's what a captain does. And I've questioned it forever. And it just it's all just making small amounts of sense the more and more we
Yeah,
learn about Zach Merrett. But anyway, Jace, thank you so much for jumping on. You've been
no
wonderful. It's great
worries.
to see you. And take it easy, take a
Yep.
breath, maybe go watch Brad Scott again,
Yeah.
and we'll
Watch
see where this goes.
2000 Premiership again. Yeah, definitely. No,
Yeah.
thanks for having me on, guys. And we'll watch with interest in the next few weeks because this is going to play
Absolutely.
out a lot. And hopefully we'll get some good news. And like I said, be back on board for next season. And I'm sure next year will be a lot better. Take care, guys.
See you, Jace. Josh, yeah, I agree. He's definitely ruined his reputation now on the way out. If he is on the way out, in fact, lots of this is a lot of this consensus that is just lost the trust. Good evening, Scott.
Hey, how are you?
I mean, I've had better days. How about you? Has your phone? My phone vibrated itself off the table. Literally, it was like it's trying to end its life. I think it was just, the phone has blown up today, and I've had to take a couple of Panadols. How have you been?
I know. I can't believe how many messages I've got today. And look, in all fairness, most of them are just really worried fans and members about what the hell's going on. And I don't blame them for having really big anxiety because, a much loved player, you may not think he's performing on field as well as he hoped, but a much loved personality in Sam Draper's leaving the club. And then the next day, you get a news Zach Merrett's met with Sam Mitchell, and that's on top of Rids, and so it's a really tough time to be a fan. And I first and foremost, just on your show, I really feel for the fans because of all the things that are happening at the club. I just genuinely feel for members because it's just 2 decades of this crap, and we're kind of they're in really dangerous territory on, Brad Scott was all promoting how resilient the fans are and that. At some point, it's going to give. And at some point, a new generation's going to go, I like the Hawthorns, I like the Geelongs when I'm 6 years old and 10 years old. Yeah. And I still worry about a whole generation not coming through for 2 decades that we don't really understand as yet. So we've got to get our act together. Look, I won't lie. I thought Brad Scott was actually not too bad tonight. I thought there's clearly in his eyes was pure anger. I'll be honest.
100%.
It was pure anger.
I loved it.
He was blindsided big time and I don't think that feeds to him well, the courting of our players and also our player going off to another club. When a contracted player for 2 years and a captain and 5-time BNF going to another club and shopping himself, he obviously was very, very angry. That's what I took from it. His eyes, like, there was this, I don't know if anyone else, there's so much he wanted to say.
Every time the media manager, he's probably got an earpiece to the media manager.
Yeah, I mean, there was one time where I saw like this, almost his eyes were welling up, and then he kind of stopped himself, went to an instant script. Oh, the board's ratified a decision that he must stay at the club, and it was like just like this day, like it was like a robot suddenly entered the like. That's right. I've got to say this, like, he's a contracted player and he's not going anywhere. But yeah. But seriously, Zach, what the hell are you doing, mate?
I think we got moments of the vulnerable Brad Scott. I think we did. He used the word committed and committed. He committed. And I loved how he handballed back to Merrett and he said, well, we last year went to him and said, you need more money, and Zach happily took it. He alluded to it and made a commitment. And Brad Scott is the kind of guy who takes that shit seriously, it feels like.
No, and I did like his point. And yes, it was a bit of a slap, but I did like his point around players wanting instant success and about the journey.
That was a dig.
Because he's basically saying if you win a grand final next year, that outcome's great for you, but who, are you going to be remembered for that?
Yeah, that's right. If you go to Hawks
you
and they
didn't-
win the final,
You didn't
how
earn
you gonna
anything.
feel?
Yeah,
You didn't
just fit it in.
contribute to it.
Yeah, you just fit it into another bunch of good players and you won a medal. That's great, but there's no journey or 20th grand final reunion where you will really feel you had a say in it. You just turned up for that 12 months and got the reward. So I kind of genuinely believe that, and I do feel his frustration and say we understood your frustration. We paid you more. We understood that. We talked about it. You committed to the journey. 8 weeks ago, you're on TV saying you committed to the journey. So put up and shut up and you're contracted and play for the club. And because you're the captain. That's how I felt. Anyway, just like, and look, but Fiona, what do you think though? Like if his manager plays the game, which we all know can get ugly, that's when the reality of the situation hits on every side. Like this is where it gets very tricky because there's two ways it can go. It can be very respectful and he ends up going, all right, I'll have to stay. But if they play the ugly angle and, there's cafe meetings with Richmond and Hawthorn and Collingwood and he's saying on national TV, I'm requesting a trade. I want to get out. I don't believe in it. Whether the club wants to make a board decision or not, then the decision probably can only be Zach has to leave the club. But I know people may disagree. And I'm saying if it goes to that length, though.
No, well, I've got two questions for you and the chat, right? So here's the thing: who's the person who facilitated? Who is the go-between? Who is the conduit who facilitated this dinner with Sam Mitchell and Zach Merrett? A. B. Who's the leaker to Tom Morris of this dinner? And actually, I'm going to add a sneaky third. Does whoever leaked it go to Zach Merrett and say, I'm leaking this to the media, I'm leaking this to Tom Morris, it's going to become public? Now, in my eyes, the same person is the answer to A, B, and C. What do you think in terms of those questions, Scott?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah. Look, I think there's other forces at play as far as leaking. That's my personal feeling.
So you don't think it's the manager who's leaked it? Do you think Zach was on board it being leaked? Because what's in it for Tom Petroro if Zach is not comfortable with it being leaked, but then he leaking it anyway?
Yeah, well, exactly. You would have to assume, I mean, even Sam Edmund tweeting tonight saying, I've actually talked to his manager and these are the points that Zach Merrett is why he wants to go. So his manager's obviously now happy to communicate this. I just don't think it started off with his manager. I think the disgruntled part came more from Merrett having loose lips, really. He's look, let's face it. I'll be honest. His reputation is he's got loose lips. He knows a lot of people in the industry. He talks to them all, and he talks to ex-staff. He talks to and ex-staff who may not like the club anymore.
There is photo evidence showing who his, let's say, confidants are. Now, I implore you all to, without needing me and Scott to actually state the obvious, I implore you all to remember back to who was at that lunch table that got leaked to the media, and then put two and two together as to why some breakfast, does he do the breakfast show? Did he talk about it on the breakfast show with Gary Lyon? Well, anyway, I just gave it away. But how do you think that gets back? How do you think these get back? And I understand and I accept that Zach Merrett needs someone to trust outside the club to be objective, confident. But my question remains, do these people who he's confiding in have Essendon's best interests at heart? Or are they happy to see the club crumble to the ground so then they can point and say, see, and come and pick it all up?
Yeah, well, Exactly.
Is this me being conspiratorial, Scott? Or
No, I know of an ex-staff member, and I can't say the name because you just can't, because it's only an assumption, and I don't want to just say names, but
no,
I know
of
of a
course not.
name that Zach's very close to, an ex-staff member. That staff member's very close to Sam Edmund. Now, who leaks details of the exit meeting in an article that has the most details? Sam Edmund. Who's tonight's leak of a detailed conversation of why Zach's leaving? Sam Edmund.
Point form. There was 4 very detailed point forms. He didn't make that shit up.
Yeah. That's when I said, when there's other forces at play, there's maybe ex-disgruntled employees at play also encouraging Zach to move on.
And a part of me feels like Zach Merrett's being manipulated here, and he's the one in the middle, and his intentions are just to confide in people and just to get the lay of the land. But these other he doesn't know that these other people necessarily don't have Essendon's best interests at heart, and still possibly hold grudges and hold resentment for the club for various reasons. And so he's confided in them without thinking necessarily, but then also he's an adult and he's got to take accountability as well. So,
he's a captain, right? He's 29 years old.
That's right.
I struggle sometimes to give him that kind of pass. You go, well, you're meant to be a leader of men, and
that's right.
And this is the whole issue, is that I think most fans understand Merrett's frustration as far as his timeline turning 30.
We share it. We share the same frustrations with him.
Yeah. And like I think we've even discussed this, Fiona, but I generally think like the club 12 months ago reevaluated itself and went, to be blunt, shit, we're a little bit further behind than we think, and we actually have to do a bit more of a start from scratch than we probably hoped when Scott started. But if we're going to do it, we're going to do it right. I think Merrett knows that. He knows it's going to take a bit longer. He knows why we loaded up picks last year, why we loaded up picks this year, because we're drafting kids to come into the system. And he knows they may not mature till 4 or 5 years, and he's 34, 35. So I get that angle. But I think it's just you just don't commit. Like if we're gonna up your pay and do all this sort of stuff, and you're gonna go on national TV 8 weeks ago, when we have that conversation with you last year about moving forward, that's your time to go, hey, this may take longer before I recommit. I'm actually got concerns. Is it worthwhile me looking elsewhere? I think even with Ridley, it's the same frustration. Go, well, you just signed a 4-year extension. Like, you know the layout. Like you've got, the draft. You've got kids left, right, and center. So the situation. So I sort of man up.
I mean, I completely agree. At some point, it's all sounding a bit victim-y to me with these players.
Yeah, it's all me.
Woe is me. Yeah. Woe is me. But are we to believe that a club did not outline completely where we stood? Now, don't get me wrong; they've probably sold them that it's in your best interest to stay, but I'm pretty sure they've painted the plans of where we're at. It's factual. It's on the whiteboard. We've got this many players under 20. We've got this many players with experience. And then, I mean, I don't know if you've watched the video yet that I posted today, Scoop, but I said at the end, would we be sitting here with Merrett requesting a trade? Now, I could understand if he'd done that, if we had all of those 18 players playing and we still finished 15th, because I would have sat here with the same amount of vengeance as he would. But how is he being allowed to be manipulated in a way that he can't see the logic of why this year happened in terms of the injuries? Derailed any plans we had. Like, why? If everyone had played and we're still in this hole, ask questions. Maybe I don't even stick my nose up at you requesting a trade, because I probably agree with you. But what do you think?
I mean, the irony is, and I don't get why he doesn't see this, but the irony is of this year, if all the senior players played, right, we had good health, Most of the senior players played. We may finish 9th, 10th, 8th, around that position, win 12 games, 13 games, be okay.
Yep.
He may have a different view, but we actually aren't progressing because none of the kids got
Sugar
experience.
hit. That's right.
Yeah. So the irony is of the senior players getting injured that we actually have progressed faster this year because Angus Clark played 14 games, because Kako played 23 games, because Caddy played 15 games, because Roberts played the whole year, because Newen played 4 games, because Zach Johnson played 6-7 games. So we're actually progressing faster this year just because of the nature. So once it actually all ties in together, you have the Langfords, hopefully by all rights. If you have, let's hope, Zach Reid fully fit, and you have the Mackay and you have Rids, you have Caddy, you have, Langers, you have Colwell. I mean, you have these guys. If they're actually all playing and then you put all that experience into young kids, who's to say you actually can't increase your output quite fast? Because these guys have done almost a full year, these kids. They know that, so they know their preseason that they're coming up. They go, oh shit, I know the caper now. I'll put in a big preseason. You've picked up pick 4, pick 5, maybe even pick 6 in young talent. What if Will Dersma joins? What if Dyson Sharp joins? So I would like to implore him to say, look, as negatives of this year was, it is because 18 players were regularly injured. But the outcome of that, was...
That's why it feels like he's being led astray here, because as diligent as Zach Merrett is, and Brad Scott, what did he call him? He called him process-based or something.
Yeah.
Like, he's a logical person. He's a black and white person. How is, in my mind, he's putting 2 and 2 together and getting 4. But for some reason, people outside of his brain are saying, well, no, 2 and 2 actually equals 6. And let's go and do this, because it's a very odd thing to do when there's logical reasons for why this year fell apart. I completely agree.
I mean,
with
Nick Martin's a big player that's not playing. For the last 16 rounds, Goldie is the rock. We had like one did in his Achilles and one did his ACL. Like, there's reasons why we suck this year.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean we're generally going to suck in the future. I mean, we're adding a lot of top young talent to this list. That, on the other side of it, the challenge is for the coaching group, there's no doubt about that, is to actually start forming a sync, a bond, and a fully functioning ball movement system that has transition defense. I think every fan mostly understands we still aren't cutting it in that frame, and we have to get it right. Yeah. But that's the challenge to them. But it actually can get good quite quick. I don't take the 4 or 5 year view, because we're getting young talent in quite fast, and how we can manage that with experienced players hopefully goes well.
Okay, so let's play devil's advocate, everyone. Let's say that he does see the logic, that we had 18 injuries, we're going to get kids in the draft, all these kids got exposure. He gets that part of it, but he has no faith that we won't have 18 injuries next year. What if that's part of it?
Well, it would be very tough, because now he's got no reason to say that, because you've got probably the top 3 performance manager in the country come to your club, and then you've got an NFL, NBA weights.
I don't want to say it, but looks like a weapon.
Yeah, I know. Do you know what? I thought the same thing when I saw him. I thought, oh no, I must leave, guy. I'm worried already. But you've obviously you look at his resume and you're like, well, that's really impressive. And he's worked at the Demons, so it's not like he doesn't know AFL. So they've clearly transformed that side. So I think the club has every right to say, yes, we may be 12 months too late, but you are coming into the club pre-season with a very different program, high performance program that
true.
actually that transformed and probably by about 70% cut soft tissue injuries at the West Coast Eagles in 2 years.
He did.
Because that's what he did.
Yeah.
So he has every right. Someone asked me, sorry, I forgot the name. Who do I think would be the next captain if Zach left? They're not going to like the answer, but I think there would be a short-term 2 years of McGrath. I just believe that. Whether people think that's right or not, I just think that's how Scott will play it out. I'm more saying that's how I think the club will play it out. Now, the understanding is too that the people that would probably be clapping the loudest on that would actually be the under-23s, because he's very much loved by the younger players because he spends so much time with them, talking through stuff, doing one-on-ones, talking to them as a group. So that's just reality. His performance, yes, we struggle sometimes on skills. And
is Zach, look at what our captain, who's our best player and a champion player, look what our captain went and did. He met with Sam Mitchell. Sam Mitchell, who he was on the field when Sam Mitchell humiliated a very baby Michael Hibberd. He was on that fucking field.
Yeah.
When Sam Mitchell did that gesture at Michael Hibberd. How dare you? How fucking dare you? And I know you're going to say, people might say, don't over dramatize, get over it, leave it in the past. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm a very self-aware person, and I can actually sit here and say that still annoys me and that still angers me. And I would not fucking look twice tripping him over if I saw him down the street, Sam Mitchell. I wouldn't. So look at what a champion player on the field as your captain gets you. Well, not fucking much as I sit here tonight. And you know what, Scott? If Andy McGrath has to be the captain for 2 years because it's leading and preparing Archie Roberts to take over that captaincy, then no problems whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get a good leader. I genuinely believe that in Andy. Like, he's that's what he is. He's a mentor, and he's mentored most. Like you talk to Jade Newen, and he's going to first. We did one of our pods in February. We were at the hangar, and it was funny because we just hanged around and we're talking to Sufi, but everyone had gone. Like the media, it was a media day, and everyone had gone.
Yeah.
So and I forgot something. I think a microphone or something like that, as I normally do.
Accidentally forgot.
Yeah. Sadly, I generally did. But I went back into the hangar, right? And I looked down, and on the basketball court is McGrath in the middle and around circle around him of all the draftees and rookies. And they're listening to every word he's saying. And he's talking to them about standards, what it means to wear the jumper and all that sort of stuff. And you can hear him talking, and it just gave me you don't get to see that. Like, I'm so glad I left my mic because you don't get to see that side of McGrath. And that's what's commonly talked about with McGrath behind the scenes is people may struggle sometimes with on-field stuff, but off-field, the players and especially the younger players, he couldn't be more caring and more trying to teach them to get as good. And I thought if there's ever results of business, I think the way they came prepared to play senior footy probably tells you that McGrath maybe actually did all right.
Look how prepared they were when they came. Were there any who you thought there was maybe one out of the 15 debutants who I thought maybe not ready, maybe looked off the mark a little bit? But I mean, what's that down to? That's development. Maybe development coaches, but also peers. And I'm sorry, but the reason why Andy McGrath is not thought of or talked about or aspired by fans or held in good stead by fans in the captaincy realm is because he doesn't get 50 touches a game and he's not playing in the middle and he's not standing out in his performance. That's the only reason. But again, I implore you to look at what our captain now has gone and done. And he's our best and fairest, million-time best and fairest winner. Like, it means jack all. If the fundamental parts of what leadership means, what's Andy McGrath doing right now? What's Andy McGrath posting on his Instagram right now versus what Zach Merrett has been doing for 1 week, knowing that he was going to then have dinner with Sam Mitchell? Andy McGrath's over in Canada wearing the Guernsey and pushing the club and pushing the red and black over in another country. I mean, the principles are totally different.
one's shopping his business and one's over there.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't know about you. I found that confusing. I know sometimes, like, maybe I shouldn't get pressures on Instagram, but every time Zach
No.
Merrett this week kept on shopping his business,
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
raged. I
I know.
raged.
I was like, man, that just doesn't feel like.
Oh, I literally said these words in about 6 different chats. Read the fucking room. Like, read the room. And this was before the Sam Mitchell date came out. This is it's so, and I said at the start of the video, this stream, Scoot, this just shows how not self-aware and how insulated he is to not read how inappropriate that is. And then for it to come out that he had a date with Sam Mitchell. So, I mean, lots of emotions.
Just one thing I want to say. There's going to be a lot of critique on the club, and look, I have my concerns. So there's no doubt I have my concerns. They're going to have to. They're going to have to, and which they are. Scott starts tonight. Vozo's tomorrow morning on SEN. They're going to have to talk to the member base, and but even though it was optically a weird moment for them to sell the club today on some of their tweets, I'm like, maybe the wrong day. But look, there is the part of Matthew Innes has signed to the club. A very experienced another high performance manager has signed with the club. The club today, obviously with Cal Toomey, has noted that Brad Scott, Vozo, who else was it? And Cam Roberts all went to the AFL today.
Oh, Dan McPherson. Yeah.
To talk about father son, to talk about NGA, to stick up for the club, to say, hey, we're basically putting our pitch to say, sorry, we want our father sons, we want NGA, and we're putting in our 2 cents worth. So there's kind of like a two parallel part here. There are actually some things they're trying to get right. They are trying to transform a club. But there's also the part of what we're hearing. So I want to balance out it can't be just all 100% angle one side. There's a holistic view that I think sometimes we have to take in as well, of they're trying to transform a club and rebuild it. And sometimes it gets ugly. And today was an ugly day, but it doesn't discount other areas that we should also take note that they're rebuilding the foundations of the club in the right way as well. And some things that actually are good announcements, even though we may roll our eyes on some of the days they announce it. It still doesn't mean it's not negative.
No, yeah, and we haven't even mentioned poor Blackiston, who, you know what, he really, really earned a day on his own for everybody to celebrate his re-signing. I do feel that in my core. And Solution, if you're watching this, I know that you celebrate very, very greatly. Absolutely, we'll finally, for sure, definitely find a badge next year. But we knew about
three Ruckman and right now.
That's right. So just congrats to Lockie. Well deserved, well earned. I do know that he had conversations with West Coast. West Coast inquired with his manager for his services after seeing him this year. And as you told me, and a few others did too, he just absolutely frothed his time at the club and loved every single freaking minute of it, and he absolutely made no enemies. So congratulations to Lockie. And again, I haven't done a deep dive. I don't know if you have into the new appointment in David Regan. I don't know if you can tell us much about him aside from those little bits and bobs, but maybe.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't know too much. I just I quickly saw his resume around working in the NBA, working in Major League Baseball, working in NFL, obviously working with the Melbourne Demons in their premiership year. Ironically, he worked in their premiership year. So there's a foundation there of 4 major sports and what an athlete would want to look like in there. So as far as programs, you couldn't get almost any bigger than Major League Baseball, American football, basketball, NBA, and I won't say the Demons is.
It's like those things, and then Daylight, and then the Demons. Although no disrespect to Demons fans, they won a flag and absolutely big jealousy. But But
it's look, resume-wise, it should give a lot of comfort of what kind of experience that is, and I'm sure I'm sure because Matthew Innes was the first person they were going through, that he was almost probably towards the end part of that process on that appointment today as well. So I
Yes.
wouldn't, I would probably bank on Innes giving that the tick, because obviously he has to work with him. So if Innes is comfortable with him, then you would say that's a pretty good start.
And you know what? Like you'd be safe to say that those two are probably getting started pretty soon. I mean, in the next couple of months for sure. Their work, they know the workload that's ahead of him. And we all should say, I don't know if you have this confirmed from your sources, but it has been floated around that Darcy Parish and Cole Langford, both of whom I suggested in the last Fiona's forecast, were both definitely going to stay because they were both off to their respective parts of the world to get their bodies right. And that to me showed a complete commitment and investment into the club's vision for them and the club's plan for them. That's what I read from them doing that. But it was floated around today that they both, that Darcy Parish is absolutely bullish and wants to be won't even hear of being spoken about in a trade. So there is
that's my
some
take as well.
Okay,
yeah. I mean, Langers is Instagramming, celebrating Blackiston getting signed.
I know. I was going to say that as well. I love that.
So that's what I read, is that they're sort of all in for the all in. So
we're going to end our chat on that high note, everybody. Thank you so much, Scott. That was so good. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. Obviously, check out Scott's podcast, the Lunchtime Catch-Up podcast. I'm sure there's a lot. Here I thought I was going to have no content to make in the off-season, Scott. Well, thank you, Zach Merrett, because now there's plenty, and Sam Draper in the works, but no doubt we'll be back for some off-season banter, planned or unplanned. We'll just see where it takes us.
Yeah, that's the Essendon way. We'll see
what change things now.
I think I messaged some of our fans and said I wasn't expecting emergency podcast every 12 hours.
I certainly wasn't scheduling a live this soon. But anyway, I've loved every minute of it so far. Thank you so much for jumping on, Scott. Always welcome, as you know, and I'm sure that everyone's absolutely been glued to your words tonight. So thank you so much.
My pleasure. All the best, and Bomber fans, still as you can, try and stick with us because there's plenty of good kids coming through, and we're about to draft a whole bunch of good ones. So. Stick with us.
Don't read into weak draft shit. I'm telling you, don't read into it. Thank you, Scott.
No, there's a player coming through called Sullivan Roby, trust me. So we'll get him.
All right.
We better.
Thanks.
All right.
Good night, Scott.
Catch ya.
Bye. All right, everybody, before I move on to the next guest, as Kate has said to you, please, it does the channel so much more than you think it does. Like and subscribe if you have not done that. Be very, very, very much appreciated. I absolutely did, M. King. It was my first ever final. Got sick of waiting around for Essendon to make it, so I I willingly, happily went to the Geelong Brizzy game and was very happy to see my finals team in Geelong win. So we'll talk about that on the show, on the Best of the Rest show later tonight. All righty, Corey.
How you going?
How are you, legend?
Not too bad, thank you.
That's good. How do you feel?
Honestly, not surprised.
Oh, really?
No, not really. Like Brad Scott had said, and a few other people have said in the chat tonight, Merrett has been burnt out, and he's obviously over it at this point in time. And you could see at some games that he played throughout the year that his body language was just not 100%. He was playing injured, obviously, at the end of the year. And I think if the board obviously hadn't had that meeting last night saying he obviously isn't going to go, it's just it's a crazy day to be an Essendon supporter, really.
So, are you saying that you weren't shocked when it came out that he had a dinner date with Sam Mitchell?
No, because I think a lot of people, not just Zach Merrett, are doing these sorts of things. He was just the one person that got caught, and it just happened to be an Essendon. It just happened to be Essendon, and because we've been the talk of the town this entire off season,
So, do you think he got caught? You don't think it was leaked purposely?
No, I don't think. I believe he got caught.
Wow.
Obviously with the media, literally hiding behind every corner and every other which way. I think that he's obviously gone to see him, and as people have said in the chat, Brad Scott Sam Mitchell, and Zach Merrett all have the same manager.
This is very true. I mean, they've probably put tracking devices on all the managers' cars and are just following them wherever they go. And they've got all the coaches' houses on I'm imagining on their GPS. And when one pings, they just go there. But I mean, that's a really different view, Corey. But I struggle to believe that it wasn't leaked. Maybe that's the cynic in me. I mean, I'm happy to go with you on this, but
that's just my gut. That's my gut feel. But also, and
I love it.
My second thought of it is someone's obviously leaked it to Sam Emmett or Tom Morris or whatever incompetent bloody media manager is there that there is in this world.
Yeah, very true. I mean, and so how do you feel about Zach Merrett coming back to the club now and fronting up?
It's the same thing as sort of what Oscar Allen had to deal with. It's the same thing as what Tom Papley had to do when he was leaked to Carlton. He's got a lot to answer for, and he's got a lot of work to gain back that trust of that playing group.
Well, how you are in a football club environment, how easy it is. Obviously, it's not a professional league that you play in, but how easy is it and how, to lose the trust and faith of people?
Yeah, it is. And it happens in local footy where you find out where players or coaches explore other avenues and where they want to go, or if they want to chase an extra dollar from a player perspective, it happens. It happens.
Yeah, and so would you say it's easy to then get back and repair and heal relationships like that between a captain or a leader of a club?
Depending on if you're liked at the club, and as people have said in this chat tonight and people have spoken, how respected Andy McGrath is from the younger generation of our list compared to probably what Merrett is. I don't think the younger blokes get along with Merrett because of how serious and how driven he is and how processed he is with how he goes about things. And maybe that is also another thing with him being his captain. I don't think he can be going forward with this, to be honest.
Yeah, it's funny because the consensus about Heppel was he was too jovial and too loose and too airy. And the consensus about Merrett is that he's too serious and process driven. People don't realise that you actually need a combination of both. You actually need a beautiful symmetry in being able to be both parts, because at the end of the day, as humans, we actually have both parts of that inside of us. It's just whether we have the courage and the ability to connect and be vulnerable with and let our walls down and let that inner child come out and play. Whereas Zach Merrett does not have that capability, whereas Dyson Heppel had it a lot, but because he wasn't demonstrative on the field, people called him weak. Andy McGrath probably has a better mix of both, although I do think people will call him soft and won't see him as being a strong captain because he's not a monster on the ground.
I think Andy McGrath is the perfect vice captain. I don't think he could be captain, in my honest opinion. He's the perfect right-hand man for someone to be captain. Will Merrett come back?
So you think he lacks that, that, what is it? What do you think he lacks to not be able to be captain?
He probably has that mongrel in him. I mean, he probably has that real go about him, but you just don't see it because he plays back pocket. You can see it from Merrett because he plays midfield. It's the common theme of most captains. They've all got a bit of go about them. They more often than not are midfielders, apart from Darcy Moore, who's centre half back. But most of the captains are, they're hard asses. They're real serious about it. Where Andy McGrath, like you said, he speaks really well with the younger guys. He gets along with he's really good in the media. Yep. Obviously, with what he's done on Instagram, really, really cool. Really, really cool to go back to his home country and do all that sort of stuff. So that he does very well, and you can't fault that by any means. But you don't see him be that real hard ass, and from if he was to be a captain, I don't think.
Yeah, does Andy McGrath have the ability to throw pretzels and swear at the top of his lungs and say this shit ain't good enough in a moment, in a very bad game, or when players are not lifting their loads at halftime? Does he have the ability to lose his shit in a moment, respectfully, of course? We know he has the other side of it, but does he have that?
I don't think he does, to be honest. I think I could probably only name 2 or 3 other guys that would do it. That is Mason Redmond and Jai Caldwell, and Sam Durham would be the 3 that I think would be able to let loose and tell people exactly how it is, but they don't have the composure and the almost niceness in a way of what McGrath has from a media point of view and how he speaks to the others.
I'll give you a name that has both and has all of that and has been forgotten in this conversation, and that's Nick Martin. Nick Martin absolutely has the ability to give a spray if he has to, but he has the ability to make people want to come with you and to celebrate the small wins and to make players feel so good about themselves that they have no choice but to want to, impress and to want to do better. He has that aura about him.
That he does, and it sucks that we're not going to have him till halfway through next year. He's probably the biggest loss that we've got. He's probably the biggest loss we've got because his is an ACL that happened in round 15 or 16. Correct me if I'm wrong. Nick Bryan's. I know Nick Bryan's from a ruckman point of view, but we're not going to have him early rounds of the year. It's going to be very interesting.
Interesting. They haven't no word on Todd Goldstein yet. I wonder what they're going to do with him now that I reckon Blackiston signing on might just gently move Todd Goldstein into a more coaching mentor role. Or do you think we keep him on the list?
No, I don't think we do. His time's up. He's done unreal for North Melbourne and Essendon, and I can't fault him for what he's done. He needs to just focus on just being a ruck coach. If Blackiston's your third ruck with Visentini and Bryan as your main two, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, I think so too.
You're not paying Bryan or Visentini an arm and a leg until they obviously get better over time. We just, as Scooter said, don't believe in the draft of like people saying it's a weak draft. People say that every year about certain drafts and certain players. Whoever we get for Draper might get another top 10 pick. It'd be great. I'm actually really excited to see what this draft class will be like.
Me too. And the fact that we've got multiple, maybe 3 top 10 picks. I mean, forgetting it being pushed back. We all know the academy kids who are going. So essentially you're not really pushing back. The same amount of players are available to you, just the number changes. So don't despair. Don't buy into it's a weak draft. I promise you, I've done the investigation and, listen to Felix on everything Essendon and listen to Scott and look at his rankings because there are some excitement machines in there. And let's trust Rosa. Has he given us a reason not to trust him? No. All right, Corey. Thank you so much, my friend. Great chat with you, and we'll talk to you soon.
No worries. See you when I'm looking at you.
Good night. Bye. Oh, thank you so much for the cake flower, Adam. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Atush, thank you, friend. I mean, happy to share my aura and hope it's coming across. Hope you all feel a bit better with this random chat. Scotty, would you ever consider ruck as a main ruckman option as a curveball? I think he could do it with some tap ruck development. I mean, I'd be open to it. And the best thing about this question is that he would be open to it because unlike some players, he is, I will do whatever you need to do. You tell me what position I'm playing. I'm going to go watch 6,000 hours worth of footage and talk to whoever I need to talk to in order to do my best at that role. Because that's just how 2 meter Peter rolls, people. I'm telling you. Hell yeah. I would. Why not? And maybe with Blackiston playing back in the back line and giving him a chop out. Why not? Until Bryan comes in, I'm assuming you mean Scott. I think he could do it. I really think he could do it. And he's the kind of guy who will be the decoy wherever you need him to be. And that's why we love him. All right, let's chat to Joe. How are you, friend?
Fiona. Yeah, good. Yourself?
I'm glad to hear you say you're good. I mean, I'm feeling much better since I started this stream. How about you?
Yeah, I'm just really happy that, we can answer the question that the media put 2 weeks ago. Is Essendon irrelevant? I think we can put that question well and truly to bed because they honestly cannot stop talking about us. They have not.
Who's counted the articles? Who's counted the articles since that irrelevant comment was made?
Are you kidding me? We've had more articles written about us than Harley Reid did when he started playing over there at West Coast and when he had every single back page. This is Harvey Reid levels of media attention. So I love you, Scotty. But honestly, like, fit check. I'm wearing the Indigenous Walla designed Essendon hoodie today.
You get a chef's kiss for that.
Thank you. No, it's most of my wardrobe when I'm not in work attire is Essendon gear, all the paraphernalia. But honestly, g'day guys. But Langy, mate, 2 people I don't want to see on the street. Sam Mitchell, I'm just joking. Love you, Langy. You're a good mate. You're a good man, Langy.
Don't you dare put Matt Lang in the same sentence as that shitface. Anyway,
I can't believe Zach would do that. Why would Zach do that? Like, why? Of all the people, of all the scumbags in football, you would go and talk to Sam Mitchell. Like, I just say the name, his face pops up in my head and I feel like vomiting. He is enemy number 1 to Essendon all over. He is enemy number 1. You were there. Like, he's got Job's medal.
Yeah.
He's got Job's medal. And thank God we had Job. Because you look at Zach reckons he's had it tough because he's coming close to 30 and he hasn't won yet. Are you kidding me? Look at what Job Watson, bless his soul, had to go through. He was the captain during the saga. He had his Brownlow medal ripped off him. He had to front the media all the time. When they played out in WA, everyone there booed him.
Oh my God, that game.
That game.
He's him crying on the field.
You can see him crying on the field. Job Watson went through hell and back. He got suspended for a year and he came back and he continued playing. Was he the captain then? No. Did he ask for the captaincy back? No. He played with Heps, who was the captain then. Can you ask anything more from a captain than Job mother-flipping Watson? Because he, honestly, after what Zach's done now, I almost brought a tear to my eye thinking about all the shit that Job Watson went through. That's a captain. That's a captain that has genuinely bled for your side, and he's the one who's had it tough. What have you had that's so tough, Zach? You're getting close to 30. Big whoop! Everyone gets close to 30. Didn't we say like halfway through the year before that you can play for 10 years because you're super focused on the game? Because you're...
Yeah, keep going. Sorry to disrupt the
Couldn't you say you could play for 10 years? If you can play for 10 years, then why the hell are you so concerned about winning a final next year? That didn't stop you from signing your contract extension for 6 years after having gone through the checks and balances. And let's go through the checks and balances. What did we lose in 2022? 2022, we lost Cody Brand, Tom Cutler.
Everybody, he's come with the list. He's come with the list tonight. He means business. Keep going.
Cody Brand, Tom Cutler, Josh Eyre, Aaron Francis, Braden Ham, who almost made me vegetarian, Tom Hurd, Michael Hurley retired, Garrett McDonough, Devin Smith retired, and Alec Waterman. So did we lose any world beaters? No. Michael Hurley limped to the final line there, and thank God for the Bear. We love the Bear. But of that list, I don't think we're crying about anyone who left us. And then the following year, what happened? Voss went. He never played AFL. Freaking Snelling went. Are we crying about Will Snelling going? Alistair Lord, Seard McBridge? I think his name was McBride. Even this article's got his name wrong. That's how irrelevant he was. Rhett Montgomery, Anthony Mankara, and James Stewart. Again, are we complaining about any of those players that went out? Last year, what happened? Heps retired for sure. Nick Hind, delisted. Yeah, nah, he can go. Kane Baldwin, injured. Jaden Davey didn't make it. Jaden Hunter didn't make it. Jake Kelly retired. Stringer, see you later package. We don't like this 1 year play. Tex Wanganeen delisted, and Sam Wiedemann delisted. Zach, who have we lost since you've signed that contract extension? Who have we lost that has jeopardized this club build and potentially winning a flag in the coming years? Who have we lost apart from your special precious friends? Like, get out of town. Are you serious? You're going to go to the enemy to complain about a club that hasn't achieved anything? Oh yeah, because Dylan Shield now leaving at the end of this year is going to really stop us from winning a flag, because Jai Menzies is now that he's leaving end of the year, is really going to stop us from winning a flag in a few years. This is all a cop-out, and I cannot believe how disappointed I am with Zach Merrett for not only just thinking about it, but actually acting on it. And this is definitely coming from him and his manager, because it's not in Hawthorn's best interests to have this thing come out just before the eve of finals. This is 100% coming from him and his management team. So I am absolutely flabbergasted, disgusted, disappointed, whatever synonym you want to use. Zach Merrett should not and cannot be our captain at the end of this, to start next year.
Everybody, drop whatever's in front of you. I'm going to drop a pen because I'm not dropping this mic, but you drop that mic and I should really click you off, to be quite frank, because if I say anything else, it's just going to undermine and it's just going to pale in comparison to what we just experienced. In fact, like I feel like you just need to do it again, because I want to relive that for the first time ever, again and again and again. I mean, how do I turn back time? If I could, I would. That was great. And I think you literally just mirrored basically what almost 200 people here in this chat are feeling, Joe. I mean, we've skirted around it. I've tried to remain respectful and objective as much as I can, but you just laid it all out on the table. So well done.
Have to. Can't sugarcoat it. I did not plan. I swear to God, cross my heart. So I did not plan to come on and rant. But
I do have that effect on people, I would just say.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It just came over me that, you know what, stuff this. I just can't. I just simply cannot. It just has to be said. And I got all the tabs open across the top. And I guess it was just my anger at you complaining, Zach, compared to what Job went through. Like that, yeah. I think that just set me off, because, you can't compare. So I'll let the others come on. I've had my piece. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your night.
I mean, I'll be honest, I think you should leave on the high, because that is just such a high to be on that I think anything you say now is just going to undermine it. So let's bid farewell to Joe and get the next one on. I think Scotty from the Lunchtime Catch-Up podcast said it the best, that you're the male fuckface. So welcome to the male version of me, Joe. Well done. We'll talk to you in the chat. Take it easy.
Night, guys.
Bye. I mean, fuck, that vibe. Bring me that vibe. Is the next person going to bring me that vibe? No. You don't have to all bring me that vibe, but you are welcome to bring that vibe, and it's welcomed and accepted. Hello, Simon.
G'day, Fiona. How
are you?
It's been unfortunate. Yeah, I'm good. It's been unfortunate that my debut is on a sad day like today, but
I mean, you know what? If you wait around for Essendon to be good until you actually debut on Bomber Banter, you may never get here. So there is no good time like the present. So
2029 will be the next win. So
oh my God. I mean, right now it feels like that. Let's strip it back. How are you feeling? We've had mixed views here tonight. Some shocked from the news today, some not so shocked. We're strip it back to 6 hours ago. How did you feel? How did the news hit?
I don't know. I'm not actually feeling too bad. I know for some people the world is ending.
Yep.
But I think we have to respect that. He has made this decision and he wants to go, and we're gonna have to live with that, and hopefully can make the most of it. But it isn't the end of the world. His I guess view of what Essendon wants to be, or how he's going to fix Essendon. I mean, I know. From what I've heard, the senior players, they want quick fixes, which I still just do not understand. I don't understand how Merrett can still think that a quick fix is the right way. But yeah, we're gonna have to make do with it. It is pretty terrible that he has gone to the enemy. I think the only way he could have done this in a respectful way was to inform the club, I'd like to be traded if it works for the club and it does not what's the word? Destroy the plans. Yeah, it's not detrimental to the plans.
No. I mean, you're spot on. No one's actually brought that point up, Simon. So well done. I think you just outlined what an actual person who takes their role seriously, their captaincy, their responsibility, really takes it seriously and respects the role. That's how you do it. You have a quiet word and you say, look, Brad, Vozo, Barham, I'm really seriously, I'm like 90% that I want to be traded, but Essendon needs to be, needs to get back. I understand that Essendon needs to be rewarded in the same way. So if it doesn't happen, more than happy to stick around, but my preference is to be traded, not to do this.
Yeah, no, he sold himself off to half the competition.
Yeah, he's gone to 10. Why didn't you just make your way up there? Like he didn't even dapple at 5. He just went to 10.
Yeah,
I met with Sam Mitchell.
Yeah, no, he's gone. I obviously I don't like Hawthorn. I hate Collingwood, and he's gone to Collingwood as well. He's gone to the Bulldogs. I've even heard reports of Richmond. I don't know the validity in that, but it's just I think it's disrespectful in a number of ways. You've got obviously disrespectful to the club and how he's going about announcing it, but I think it's also disrespectful to the players of the club that he's saying, look, I don't think we're going to have success in the next 5 years while I'm here, while I'm in my career. And look, if he was retiring next year, go for it. If he wants success in next year, go for it. But he's saying 5 years down the line, these blokes right now won't be good enough to get the job done. And I think that's going to obviously harm his reputation. It's going to harm the respect of the players around him and how they feel about him. Because he has gained respect. He has gained respect through his standard and his performance. But he's going to lose that respect because he's essentially insulted those players, saying that they're not good enough and they're not going to be good enough in 5 years that they can win a flag. And that's gonna leave some nasty feelings there. I'll tell you that much.
Wow. I mean, he's subconsciously delivering that message to his teammates today.
Yeah.
When this news got dropped to the leaders. He's saying to Nick Martin, cut your losses, mate, get out of here. He's saying to the whole entire and the impressionable kids. How are they sitting there? What's Archie Roberts thinking right now? If my captain doesn't think I'm good enough, surrounded by good enough players and in a good enough team, you painted it and said it so well, Simon. You're right. He's subconsciously telling them, and a bit what Joe said, he said previously that he believes in his body and he's shown that he's durable. He's probably got another 8-9 years in him.
9 years. I would say 9 is a bit generous, but he's got a long time, that's for sure. Yeah.
Okay, maybe 7 years. Well, let's say 7 years conservatively. Do you how much can change in 7 years?
Yeah, that's right.
And Joe's right. As you just said, if you think 1 year, that's okay. If you think you got 1 year left, you go and chase success, as we've seen many players do in the AFL.
Yeah.
But you're so right. It's what a message to send. Okay, so basically, now that we've ascertained that he's actually sending that subconscious message, and there's no way around understanding that there's no other way to take it personally but that way. Do you believe that there's no way he can captain the club, let alone actually play for the jumper with any respect moving forward? Where do you sit on that?
Yeah, it's tough. I do not think he can captain. I haven't seen the Brad Scott interview. I know he said he could still captain. I don't think he said he will captain. But I think if you look at that respect element, you have to have the on-field group be led. And if they don't feel they can be led by someone they don't respect, and they're not going to be a leader. And so I think, it's Merrett's essentially he's dropped a nuclear bomb into the club, and he's going to feel the effects of it. I mean, he built up over so many years, and he has put a long period of great performance and great standard together. But it's incredible just how a couple small decisions and meetings with the enemy can quickly erode all trust and respect and any real leadership that he had.
100%. Most of the correspondence that I've received today, and I'm sure Scotty from the Lunchtime Catch-Up podcast, my inbox is just full of his reputation is tainted now, no matter what happens. If he walks back in for day one of preseason, his reputation is tainted, because this is different to just, as I said earlier, talking through your manager to other coaches. This is such an obvious message that he's sending to the club. This feels like he's trying to hurt Essendon. This feels a very deliberate decision to hurt the club. And it almost feels like, if you read behind the lines and if you get psychoanalytical, which I do love to do, it's almost like a bit of payback. I've been through all this and got nothing, and now I'm taking shit seriously and I want to hurt you back psychologically. It's all a bit morose, to be quite honest. And look, how I sit here tonight, I agree with you, Simon. I don't know how he goes on to be captain, because I just don't know how the players look him in the eye and believe anything he says moving forward. Yeah. So, okay, so if he did, you said you didn't watch Brad Scott, but Brad Scott said they asked him and they said, could he be captain next year? And Brad Scott, after being pushed to answer the question twice, basically said, well, yeah, he can, but it's going to take a lot of work. So basically the climb back from here is, if he is captain, is to gain the trust back, is huge. So they're aware of the damage it's done, I think.
Yeah, okay, that's good. I wasn't sure. Like I say, I just skimmed through the Fox Footy article.
Yes.
And so I wasn't sure if Brad Scott was being soft on Merrett and wasn't taking it seriously. Because that would be more frustrating to me than anything else if Brad Scott just accepted what Merrett was doing and what he's doing to the club and how he's treating the fan base by doing this, who've put their trust in him. And so I appreciate that from Scott, that he is, showing a bit of backbone.
Yes.
So I guess I was talking to my dad about it. Apparently Sheedy, when there was this really bad news article, he got a bunch of newspapers and put them all around the club for all the players to see. And they got the message loud and clear, apparently. And so, I hope, especially if Merrett leaves, that something similar happens where all the players, whether it's handing around like a page of his comments, they see it, they internalize. He didn't think we're good enough. What are we going to do to prove him wrong?
I love it. Could this be the turning point? Could this be his not his face, but maybe his words are on the whiteboard for the rest of the year, and you're looking at them every single time you're putting on the jumper and you're running out, and you're using that as ammunition to prove this guy wrong, who has set out to hurt the club and has said that you're not good enough. I love that energy. Simon. So I guess, all right, so before I let you go, I'll ask you in terms of more broadly, I mean, obviously this year was a shit show and mainly due to injuries, but where does your faith lie in terms of being able to, current administration and being able to turn this around moving forward?
I'm more positive than a lot of people. I think, I'm still fairly young, and so I haven't felt the pain of such a long period as much as others, because I haven't been aware of it. And I've been aware of it for the last few years, and so it will catch up to me if we don't improve. But I'm more positive than others. I do feel I can look at it in a more neutral light. And I do think there's a lot of good signs. We're getting people into the medical team who have success, premiership success. We're getting in players that we weren't able to do before. We've got Rosa. We got rid of the Dodo. And that's a huge change. We've had stability, even if we might not love Scott, we might not love the board. We still have stability, and that's a huge factor. And so I think, it's going to still be tough. It's a messy rebuild. But I still do hold some hope that in 5 years we will have won a final, that we might be in the top 4 competing for a flag.
I mean, it's not beyond incomprehension that actually, and you know what? You just manifested that and put it out to the universe. So I'm going to leave you on that note, and I'm going to leave you on that manifestation, and that in 5 years' time we can say we've won a final, and hopefully you're back here on the stream saying, "I told you so, Fiona," and "I told you so, chat." And I mean, let's hope. I mean, will Zach Merrett be a part of it? We don't know. But anyway, thank you so much, Simon. Well
Thanks,
done on your
Fiona.
Bomber Banter debut. You were brilliant and have
Appreciate you.
brought up a few things that have definitely made me think I hadn't actually considered them. So well done. Thank you for your support of the channel, and hopefully see you many more times in the future.
For sure. Thanks, Fiona.
Thank you, Simon. See ya. Wayne, thank you so much. There's a Jonah at Essendon. We have to get rid of as many players as it takes to find them. This confuses me, Wayne. What do you mean by this? Is this a riddle? I've never been great at riddles. And today I think I've drunk 500 mils of water. I've eaten an apple, a pear, and a yogurt. I have not been a good human, watered and fed myself today. It's been a whirlwind. So please explain that. Bomber Boy, you're so annoyed. I just bought oh no, you didn't. Over the weekend, should take my receipt and ask for a refund. Oh, you should do that. Absolutely. And that goes for anyone who's bought a drip hoodie. You refund that shit. You send that shit back to whence it came. If Merrett does indeed leave, would this be the darkest chapter in our recent history, minus the saga? In my opinion, this would destroy the club. Well, we could either make it the darkest period, or as we just said with Simon, we could use it as ammunition to say, fuck you, and let's do everything in our power to prove you wrong. So, yeah, I mean, the saga, nothing comes close and will ever come close to the saga. But, yeah, probably, maybe, recency bias aside, maybe. All right, Shelley. Hello, Angel.
Hello.
Welcome to your Bomber Banter debut.
Oh, what a day for it, too.
Oh, my gosh. Were you attached to your phone? Did you get any work done at all?
I got work done. How accurate it was, I don't know. But I got some done.
You better go back and check your work tomorrow just in case.
That's right. The pharmacist will deal with that. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, no, not a good day. Not a good day. Not a good day.
How are you feeling now?
It's like you're a parent, and it's like, I'm not angry. I'm just really fucking disappointed. Like, what a letdown. But you know what? I was watching Brad when you guys were we were all watching on the live show, and hats off to him. I've not been his biggest fan, but geez, he was good. He was really good.
Yeah, I love hearing that from people who have not always been his biggest fan, because we all think differently and we all have our own opinion. So 100%. So that, from an objective point of view, that's good.
I was waiting for him to roll over, I'll be honest. I thought, here we go. He's just going to say yes, and we're going to walk away from this and nothing's been said, and we'll just capitulate yet again, because that seems to be what we do. But he was very adamant, very down the line about it all, and I was very impressed.
Yeah, and he looked he
looked pissed.
Yeah, exactly. I was trying to find an eloquent way to say that, but I mean, who cares at this point? I mean, Joe he's kind of floored me in that rant. So I mean, who gives a shit? He looked pissed. He was trying not to let it bubble over. But he did.
He was trying to put on the front and be professional, and you could just see him burning on the inside. And it was nice to see, I'll be honest.
Because that's how you connect. That's how you connect with, and we don't get to see these sports stars and these athletes and these administrators in their raw forms. We see their typed out, pedaled, lines from the media manager that the media managers, teed them up an hour before about what to say. So that's how you connect. And that's why people who don't actually like Brad Scott probably connected with him tonight and thought, oh, yeah, good go. Because he was raw. He was vulnerable.
Exactly. And even looking on Twitter, isn't that place a shit show?
Oof.
Everyone there wasn't many Essendon supporters that weren't impressed with him from what I could see. So I was really happy with that. But if I get one more bloody troll, right, especially the Hawthorn supporters, oh my God, stick it up your jumpers. Honestly, the lot of you, I've had enough.
Out, of course.
They've been out, because I did post, I'll be honest, I did post a clip or a GIF, I think it was, of when Sam Mitchell did that beautiful gesture that we were talking about earlier. And I just thought, hey, Zach, do you remember this? It was like a call out to all the plebs on Twitter. All of
like
them.
A bat signal.
I've never hit the block button so fast in my life.
I mean, God bless that block button.
Go away. No, this wasn't for you. I didn't at you. I'm not talking to you. Leave me with my Essendon people. Thank you.
So what are they on about? What are they trying to say? Like,
just the typical. Oh, one called me. I reported him because I thought, stuff you.
Yeah.
But you're a bunch of fucking junkies or something to that effect. And I thought, I'm not even going to bother arguing with a pea brain like yourself. I'm not even going to bother. Report. Bye-bye. See you later. I've had enough.
Yeah.
Who's asking you to comment? No one. Leave me alone.
I mean, that's just the shit show that is Twitter. But I have found that you just don't give them any. You just don't respond, and then they just dissipate off into the ethos. But I mean, what's your opinion on whether you think he can actually step back in to the club now and captain or play?
If I was one of the other players,
yes,
I would probably be pulling him aside and going, hey, care to explain?
Yeah.
Why did you think that was okay? And why did you? And it turns out, it's not just Hawthorn, it's Collingwood, and it was someone else, Bulldogs, I think it was, or someone else too. Like, what do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
Everyone else is in this. Look at all the kids that have come through. Look at everyone's trying to get on track, and you're basically trying to derail us at this point. Why?
Yeah.
And get some answers, because I think the very least he can do is be held accountable for what he's done.
Yeah. It's almost like the whole world is against us and has been this year, and rightly so, because we've underperformed, we've underdelivered, etc., etc. We need to be held accountable.
Yeah.
But this is one of our own now. This is one of our own stepping out against us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what? As an aside, these guys get paid so much money. So much. I would love to have a 16th of what they make, right?
Yeah.
And for what? You've signed a contract. Put on your big boy pants and deal with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Spot
on.
You can't just pick and choose. You can't go, happy to take more money, happy to have a long contract. Oh, no, actually, I want a flag, so I want to get out. No, that's not how life works.
Yeah.
Roll up.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like Scott said,
how have you made it this far in life? You're an adult. Act like one.
Yeah, and a captain at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You have different rules.
Exactly right. And you knew that taking it on.
That's right. He begged for the role.
Yep.
He begged
wanted
for
it. He wanted the captaincy. He was given it. It goes both ways. You can't just take all the good and not take the bad. That's not how life works.
Yeah, spot on, Shell.
Really, really cross. Like, I feel like I need a stiff drink at this point, not an even drink.
Yeah, I mean, stiff drink and bomber banter, that was the remedy for tonight. That's the remedy for what is even the day. I do not even know what the fucking day is. Wednesday. For a Wednesday night. Who would have thought that we would all need a stiff drink and a live bomber banter show? I mean, I could not have foreseen that, but hopefully this is helping a little bit. It's being
very
even
cathartic. Thank you.
Good. Random yap. Get her something strong. I mean, I know, right? I feel like I'm going to need it soon. Jez, are you sure you're not already on it? Because I think you're sitting there with something.
Well,
Shelley,
he's definitely drinking.
Yeah, definitely. Well done on your Bomber Banter debut. I'm so glad to see your face. You were absolutely wonderful. Thank you for bringing some feminine energy into the space.
And thank you for everything that you do, because it's so nice to have somewhere safe to go.
Oh, an absolute honour. And you're welcome back anytime. Please come back anytime.
I will. I promise. I will.
And we'll chat.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, Shell. Hello, Richard.
G'day, how you going?
I'm pretty okay at the moment. How are you?
Just processing.
Still processing. Yep.
Yeah, it's been an interesting few days, hasn't it?
Yeah, it certainly has. I mean, why don't you take me back to 7 hours ago when you first heard the news? What was your gut instinct? What was your first thought that ran through your mind?
Gut instinct was I didn't believe that he'd met with anyone or that was thinking of leaving at all. Because I mean, how many times do you hear players, they've talked to this, they've done this, and 9 times out of 10 it's full of shit.
Yeah, why did we automatically believe when Tom Morris came out with it? Why did we believe it straight away? That's a good question. Okay,
I mean, some people just see, a headline on Facebook and they just run with it, and it's like, oh well, it's got to be true,
Yes.
But I think for me, specifically because it was Merrett, I thought, nah, not Merrett. Because he's the one that's been, St Kilda offered him, all of Moorabbin basically as his personal condo, and he said, nah, no thanks. So, so I just didn't think, Merrett was the type to want to cut and run.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I still don't like. I've learned in my wise old age of mid-30s that there's always two sides to a story. So I'm not willing to just throw Merrett, to burn my Merrett jumper, as it were. I'm obviously pretty disappointed, but at the same time, I kind of start thinking about it more as like what's the word? What to do next? I'm thinking, what do we do next to just progress? If Merrett goes, what's the next idea? What's the next step? Because
so is it because you think there could be more to the story? Like, is there a side here we could be missing in terms of is there any defense that would make you say, oh, fair enough, Zach, that you went and met with Sam Mitchell? Because I'm struggling to see it right now. When I did the video earlier today, I thought, all right, Fiona, think objectively. Is there any realm where he comes out with his side of it, and I get it?
Well, because I didn't actually believe that he'd actually met with Mitchell, and if that's if that's confirmed that that's happened, which from what I've heard it has happened, that changes it a little bit for me, because it's one thing to if he's ever I don't begrudge him, in his own head thinking, fuck, I'd love to get out of here and win a flag, because then you think, fair enough. I mean, we've been a basket case for a long time, so it makes sense that the thought could cross your mind. But then if he's actually gone out and done something like that, it becomes really hard to sort of come back. I'd still personally be happy to have him back in some capacity just because he's such a good player. But if the bridge is burned, then you just you get everything you can. You get whoever it is, Hawthorn, whatever. You get everything you can for him, because he's got 2 years or 3 years left on his contract or something. So 2 years.
So how do we know, in your opinion, Richard, how do we know if the bridge is burned? So let's forecast in a week's time, if things have gone quiet and the finals are taking the glimmer off all of this. How will we know, or how will he know? How will the club know if that bridge is burned? Is it going to be about talking to every single player individually? Because some of these players could be taking this very, very personally. There are lots of different personalities in the club. So what would it take to know?
Well, I guess I think it depends on what Merrett does next. If Merrett comes out and openly says, I want to be traded, then that's obviously a step. If the club comes out and I think they've, like what Scott says, that he won't be traded, and the board says, we will not trade you, and he says, I don't care, I want to be traded, you need to trade me, then he's obviously... That's the weird thing, is I don't see Merrett as that sort of person to really push, like, you have to get rid of me, I have to get out of here. It seems like the opposite of what he's done up to this point. So I don't... If we see it, I mean, it is what it is, but he'd have to come out and really be upright, what's the word? Forceful with it. Forthright, that's right. And just say, I want to be traded, I do not want to play here, basically, because that's the only thing that would do it, I think.
Yeah. Do you think his actions are doing the talking here? Because this is a big betrayal. Like, again, I put it out there that this is not just him having a phone call or a FaceTime. He's actively gone to the home of Mitchell, let it be leaked, and like this feels like an active ploy to hurt the club. So I wonder if this is him, instead of him using his words, he's using the actions to say, "I want to. You've got to trade me."
I think that's The meeting with Mitchell really does change things in that way. It sort of really pushes into a realm of it's hard to reason this away.
Yes.
Other than what you're saying is that he really does want to go, but then I don't know. It's just so weird because it's Merrett, like I said, and he doesn't do this sort of stuff. From what he's, it's so out of left field for him, So I'm wondering, is my sort of my copium is this his agent again trying to drum up for a contract boost, for some more money to scare the club, and is it the media doing the usual BS of creating a mountain out of a molehill,
Why aren't we more suspicious of the media's reporting of this? I've not seen one person, including myself, and I questioned the media about the Zach Merrett rumours in a video 2 weeks ago myself. Why aren't we questioning more about the media's reporting of this? We've all jumped very quickly. I mean, granted, Brad Scott, I don't know if you caught the interview earlier tonight, but Brad Scott pretty much confirmed that it was all true. But I guess there hasn't seemed to be a lot of the questioning of, as you said, how media just like to blow everything up, and especially when it comes to Essendon, as we know, because we're a big club and we bite back and we defend the club's honours. It's certainly intriguing to me why we haven't questioned the reporting on it.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm very suspicious of, unless it's I think even Scooter said this, unless it's like Cal Toomey or like very very few others. I wait until there's actually an actual statement. It's one of the benefits of me personally following multiple sports, and I think Solution will appreciate this as well. Following the Premier League, the big, when the transfers are all happening, the main sort of rule of thumb is you don't believe anything until you see the player in the Guernsey.
Wow.
There's no such thing as a completed transfer until he's actually wearing your team's shirt. And you don't believe anything the media says until he's in the jersey, because that's when you know for sure it's real. There's so much stuff going on with that, and then you can kind of extrapolate that to here and say, until Brad or the club or Merrett himself says this is happening, you take it all with a grain of salt, because, how many of these, journalists just make shit up, and they never get called out for it,
Yeah. A question about the Premier League and is the reporting and is the media just as vitriolic and just as gossipy as they are in the AFL, or is it a different beast?
It's sport. It's sport in general. I follow a few sports in Europe and the US and here. So going on, looking at the fan bases, and trust me, this has helped me, I think, personally, to not take it all too personally and not lose my mind on this stuff. Fan bases lose their shit no matter who they follow, no matter what sport it is. People take things too seriously. People go overboard, saying burn the club down and whatever. And it's not just Essendon, trust me. It's not just AFL. Every sport has this. It's passion. It's passion, so it's a good thing. But it also sometimes you just got to take a step back and not let it get to you too much if you can.
Yes.
But the media, to answer your question, the media over there is probably even worse. Like if you heard about anything that they were saying about Ange Postecoglou while he was managing Tottenham, when he came in and then when he left, they're the ones that it seems like they want managers to get fired just so it's a story,
Man, I don't think I'd last a day. Maybe I have to rethink getting onto the Premier League in the off season because the media, honestly, I have to take them in small doses because they bait my soul, So you make a great point, and we probably need to be a little bit more suspicious of the media in this regard and the reporting of it. So it's a good point. Thank you for the reminder, because nobody has been in this regard. So before I leave you, Richard, I want to ask you, can you see him being the captain of the club in 2026?
After this, it'd be really hard.
Would you be happy for him to be, I guess?
I mean, I'm a little bit biased towards him just because he's kind of been the constant for so long.
Yep. Fair enough.
But I would be open to having someone else if it's Caldwell or I don't know, like you said, Martin.
Yep.
I'd be okay with that. I also agree. I think Pidge is good, well suited to be a vice captain. He's a good support captain, and the only way I could see it is if he gets voted in again by the team, which from what you're saying, probably not going to happen because the trust is broken. So I don't see him getting voted back in as captain either. So but if it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world again if he's not captain. If he, I found it interesting. You mentioned before that I think you believe that the younger players don't vibe with him as much because he's kind of a bit of a standoffish type of captain where he lets his game speak for him rather than his words. So if that's the case, I mean, there's a place for that. But then I wonder, with the amount of new young players we're going to have, do we need a more personable captain like whoever, Martin or whatever it is?
Yeah, it's there's a certain necessary coach for every stage of a team's trajectory. We needed the John Worsfold post the saga to be the head honcho, to be the experienced vocal point for the club, to defend the club. Right now, is Merrett the type of captain that we need with such an impressionable big group of young players? It's a great question, and I think a good club reassesses that at every stage and at every and is really open about it and is really self-aware about the type of personalities that these young players. And don't forget, these young players are, what are they? They're Gen Zs, right? So they're coming through in a completely and developing in a completely different way to the way that millennials are raised as well, and they respond differently. We don't have time tonight, but I would use Harley Reid as that example and the things that he responds to versus the stuff that doesn't bode well with him. So it's a great question, and we should talk about it more in depending on where this Zach Merrett things go. But I definitely see more lives in the near future regarding this topic. So we'll definitely talk about it then. But you've raised some great points, Richard. Well done on your Bomber Banter debut. You've been wonderful. Hope to see you more in the future.
Yeah. No, good on you, Fiona. I'd love to be on in the future if possible. Yes, hope you do some more shows in the off season because it's always a good time, a great bit of food for thought, I guess, whenever you're on.
Yeah,
So.
bit of catharting, bit of therapy, bit of connecting with like-minded people. I got you. Thank you so much, Richard. Have a great night.
All right, you too. Bye.
See ya. All right, I do have to get to another live show. I hope you all come over and watch that. I will get the best of the rest finals preview. So I'm gonna run through. I've got 3 more people left in the studio, so I'm gonna quickly have a quick chat to them, 10 minutes each, and then I'll get out of here and get onto that show. Chat, you've been amazing. All right, let's get to Andrew. How are you, Andrew?
Well, I was okay. I was having a good old time in the non-season, but it's all blowing up, hasn't it? It has.
I mean, how are you feeling right now about it all?
Well, I got pretty emotional and rang SCN this morning.
I don't blame
you. I was this afternoon, Dwayne's thing, and I had a real good crack.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
And I said a few things probably in hindsight I shouldn't have said.
Oh, well, can you tell us?
Well, leadership.
Yep.
Merrett, as the leader of a team, how can he front up to the players and look them in the eye, especially the young players? Now, I'm going to ask you a couple. I know I've got 10 minutes, but I want to go on to this.
Yep.
What was promised to Merrett when he actually signed the extension to his contract? What sort of guarantees was he given in relation to his list? Now, we spoke a couple of weeks ago,
we did.
and we talked about his second half performance.
Yep.
To his first half, it sort of petered off, and he got very emotional on the ground. You could see the emotion getting to him. Does the club have a psychologist?
I believe so. Yep.
Okay, I'll be looking at that person and see how long that person's been there, and I think I'd move them on. Okay.
Yep.
But I think mental health is nowhere near where it should be at Essendon. It's not strong enough. We are fragile mentally, players, and it needs to be lifted. Mm-hmm. Second point was Scotty had a dinner with his best mate, Merrett, 2 nights ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it said on 360. It was about, you see, he had a dinner with him a couple of nights ago. If you go back and watch 360, Brad Scott said he had dinner with Merrett a couple of days ago.
And then he had dinner with Sam Mitchell. So clearly he doesn't want to do any cooking, sounds like.
Well, what was said at that meeting, was it just a chat? Or was it a real, I'm leaving and I'm looking around? I'm looking at the different possibilities here. What was actually said? Because I think Brad knows more than what he said tonight on 360. I think it's not a surprise to him, but I think okay. So I think there's more to it than meets the eye. And if he's been going now, all clubs have their spies, or not spies, but their intel. Okay, they knew full well he's been going around. Well, his manager. Next point, I'll go to his manager. Sorry to go there. As you know, his manager, Scott, Brad Scott's manager, Merrett's manager, and our friend Mitchell's manager are all the same person. Now, that to me it sounds disastrous.
Yeah.
Okay? It is a disastrous situation. Now, I'm sorry I didn't bring any syringes in here to highlight what our great mate Mitchell. Oh, and I haven't brought my Brownlow in it as well because, you know, so how can Merrett possibly go to a club where that figurehead actually put us through the dirt,
humiliated,
emotionally upset the whole fan base.
Yep.
Now he's rubbing it in with trying to take our best player. Now I would actually, if I was the club, and I've said that, and I've sent a letter off to Craig Bosso this morning.
Yep.
And I won't read it out because there's a few things there which are pretty hard. I said, and now to his credit, he's on SCN tomorrow morning. So he is fronting up tomorrow on SCN tomorrow.
Do you know actually, Andrew, what time? I've got to set my alarm. It's going to be a late night.
I'll be on. It's on Tim's radios. Tim and Gary.
Gary, okay. Is anybody chatting?
It's the early one. 7 o'clock.
Oh, 7. Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah, 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it's a must listen,
whatever
though.
time, 7 to 9 o'clock they're on, or whatever they're on. But he's on that. So more likely around 8 o'clock. I think they bring him on around 8. Or I don't think that. Hopefully, they don't bring him on any earlier.
Okay.
So then,
there's the appetite for your letter. There's an appetite for your letter. How long does it go for, Andrew?
Well, I've sent a number of letters to Craig, and I get responses because Craig likes my letters.
Good. Well, is the one you sent today?
No, it's not a long letter. I'll read it out. Can I read it? No, it's not very.
Yep.
Okay.
Go for it.
Please, it goes to someone within the club who then passes. He doesn't like getting direct emails. Yep. I've got his email address, but I send it through his channels.
The EA.
He heard that. He's heard that. Has he heard that Merrett wants out? And the media are reporting he met with Mitchell at Hawthorn. This is guttering to me. A bland club statement will not cut it. Okay, so which they've done. They've just brought a standard rejection. He's with the board's brought out saying he won't move. But is Craig now? I said to this person, is Craig doing the media tomorrow and Brad on TV tonight? They must address this head on. How can Merrett possibly remain as captain after this? What is the club position right now on leadership and the list stability? What's the plan to steer the members and sponsors who feel blindsided? I love this club. I support the jumper, not the individuals. So people need to realise, who do we actually barrack for? We got to get hard-nosed here. We barrack for the club, not the individual. Merrett has basically broken the trust of us as supporters, and he needs to be dealt with pretty harshly. Take the gloves off and sort him out. It's been disappointing, very deeply disappointing, and honestly questioning whether to attend the best and fairest. It feels like a disaster. Now I'm going to the Crichton Medal with my partner.
Yep.
And I warned the club today. I rang them today too. I said, will there be a punch if he turns up and wins the best and fairest, which he will win it? It's him or Roberts. I've gone for, but I think he's got enough votes to win it. He'll win his 6. Will he turn up? Will he get booed? And will there be a punch up with supporters? Because some will say, well done. Others will be ropeable and want to go on. And people will be having a few drinks. And it could get out of hand. It could get out of hand. So if I was Merrett and if I was the club, I would not invite him. Bad luck. Simple as that. He can win his medal, post it out to him, and then trade him to West Coast. Okay, I'll be doing a deal with West Coast, or I'll go back to Hawthorn, I'll go back to Collingwood or Footscray, and I will say to them, you can have him, but we want number 1 pick and number 2 pick in the draft. You get that for us, you can have him.
Yeah.
We don't want a future pick.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I almost don't give a shit unless what I will give a shit about is if the club fold and we give him to Hawthorn for pick 16 and pick 22. That's when I'll rage.
No, they can't go we cannot go for a future pick. We don't want future picks because Hawthorn will be a top with Merrett and all the other players they've got and they're going to be a top 4 side or top 5 side for the next how many years? Yeah.
Don't go selling us future picks either. We don't want your future picks.
No. He's the leader of our club. What does that stand for? Does it pick 20, 25? The other thing I want to point out to when you have time and other people who are on this chat, go to our website and look at the players' stats. My concern is most of our players are either above or just either average or below in a lot of the stat criteria. Okay, you look at there's a number of elite stats.
For which stat?
When they're playing, you look at the teams. You go under into profiles, and they've got their yearly. If I bring up, I say Ben Hobbs, for instance. Yeah. Okay. Now he's above average in disposals. He's elite in handballs. He's below average in marks, which is understandable because he's only a small player. Kicks, he's average. Tackles, he's elite. And he's below average in scoring goals. And they played him on the half-forward line. He's not a half-forward flanker. It says here he's an elite tackler. Tackles. So that suggests to me we've got something going wrong here, And you can go through all of them if you want in your time. You'll see where they're at. So we've got a lot of young players who are below average or average, and a couple who are doing really well, like Roberts. He's virtually elite in a couple of stats. But we need to get that development up. That's our saviour. It's not whinging about Merrett going and doing what he's doing. Look at the list, the young players we've brought in. We've done the right thing by bringing in these great. The 2 guys we brought into their performance areas, our sports science area, like today and Innes the other week. I think they will hold us in very good stead. We now need to look at the mental health area. Is the next area they need to really look at, beef that area up. Because if Merrett and other players are whinging about, woe is me because I haven't been looked after and this and that and the rest of it, what's a mental? It's something mentally about, hang on a minute. We've sent you to the best doctors, the best hospitals, the best treatment. We've done everything. Draper, for instance, 78 games in 9 years. He's been on the medical table more than he's been on the ground. Yeah. And he's whinging about what we're giving him.
Yeah. I mean, don't even start me. I've already ranted about his post.
And he's not the only one. Not the only one. The other people have done the same thing. They walked out and what's his name? Danaher. Same sort of thing. Yeah, the same sort of situation. Played for, anyway. I know you guys coming on.
I'm so sorry. I would have loved to chat to you all night long, but unfortunately I have to get on to that other live show.
I lost a tooth. I ate a tooth. I actually ate a tooth.
Oh my God! How's the fairy godmother? What's she called? The tooth fairy?
Can't get to me. And I lost my wallet.
Oh my God! Is that today?
No, this is last week. So this is the third bit of bad luck. It goes in threes.
At least you know you're done. At least you know you're done now, Andrew.
Well, that's right. Hopefully no more surprises.
Thank you so much for hanging out in the studio and jumping onto chat. Don't worry, this won't be the last live show I can see in the future, but we wait and see what pans out.
But be positive.
Keep writing your letters.
One more thing. We have the power. Okay,
yeah.
They haven't. So whatever they want to do, we control it. The club
control the cards with all of them.
The board has to control it. The board just can't come out and say he's a required player. They need to get a lot tougher than that, and there needs to be a lot more and ask the real questions of all the players. Why aren't you happy? What can we do to make you happy? We've done this, this, and this. What are the gaps? And work on it. It's a cost benefit analysis of the club, or risk analysis of the club, and virtually I know they do this all the time, but if someone's not telling you the truth, if Merritt's not telling you the truth, the coach the truth, and then going behind his back and they're supposed to be best mates, there is something fundamentally wrong at this club where they can't express the truth, and that's my biggest disappointment.
Agree, anyway. Andrew, and it's going to be fascinating to watch this. Have a good rest of the night. Take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you very soon.
Okay, take care.
Night. All right, Muzz, I'm so sorry you've been waiting for so long. You've got like 4 minutes, my friend. How are you? I hope you're well. I love you. All of that stuff. How do you feel?
I'm disappointed in our captain, to be honest. I'm more angry at the fact that he went behind our backs.
Yeah.
That's what I'm more frustrated about. If he would have just spoke up and said, hey, guys, listen, I'm unhappy about a few things here at the club. I would love to see where this club is going. But until I see that future, I'm going to be looking to other clubs and all this. I would have been completely fine with it all. I understand that he's had a tough year. I understand the whole club's had a tough year. Us, the supporter base, have had a tough year. But we're not going behind each other's back saying, I'm not supporting this club anymore. I can't be bothered. As our captain, we expect more from you. And Joe was completely right. You think you have it tough now? Go back 5-10 years ago when Joe Watson was captain. What did he go through?
Perspective.
I am frustrated at the fact that he thinks he has it tough. I love Merrett as a player. Great player. Probably one of our best players over the last 5-6 years, right? Don't get it wrong. But what he did today, you can't forgive it.
Yeah.
It is disgusting, and we don't deserve it as a club, and we don't deserve it as a fan base. I didn't watch Brad Scott on Fox Footy today. I just didn't have time. I'll go watch the repeat of it. Yeah. But as what I've heard, Brad Scott spoke really well on it. I applaud Brad Scott for that. And as a football club, we need to fix this problem with Zach Merrett. I say, screw him as captain next year. If he wants to leave, let him leave, because us as fans and us as a club, we do not stand for that. Let him go. I don't want him at my club anymore. He's going to go around sneaking behind our backs, telling him what's what. Then get rid of him. I don't want him at our club, because as a club, we don't stick by that.
Yeah.
We don't stick
if I
by
had
that.
my guess, I reckon Brad Scott would have wanted to say that to him, because he doesn't take kindly to that kind of, manipulative behavior, that as you say, behind your back behavior. I think he respects people being up front, and Merrett clearly has not been up front here.
He has not been up front, and it's getting to the point where us as fans, we're getting annoyed now. It hasn't only been a tough year for you, it's been a tough one. It's been a tough year for everyone at that club. Players, coaching, development people, medical team, fans, everyone. It's not just him.
It's a very good point. Very good point.
The fact that he's taking this to just him and it's all about him, it's not fair.
Yeah, it is very... Sorry.
He's making this about himself, and he's getting the media hyped about himself. And I'm not putting disrespect on Merrett. I want no hate towards going to him. But if he gets hate, this is what happens when you do this type of stuff, because he will get hate for this. I don't want any hate. I don't have any hate towards him. I'm sure he's a great person, and on and off the field, but that we do not stand as Total Football Club. We do not stand it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think you're right. I think you're right, and I
want
love.
no one to go sending Merrett hate messages. I want nothing of that.
Yeah.
But if he gets hate, I'm sorry, you dealt with this the wrong way. As an AFL player and someone that's always in the media, you know this stuff will happen. You signed a contract saying you will accept this because that's a part of being an AFL footballer. You're going to get hate. You're not going to have everyone love you.
Yeah.
It's what happens.
Yeah. Spot on. Spot on.
I've talked to Merrett a couple of times. I went to a footy panel show here. Him and Draper were here. I spoke to him one-on-one individually. Great person. Got nothing wrong against him, right? He said he's committed to this club 7 weeks ago. What happened in that 7 weeks?
Yeah. How do you trust?
You can't trust him.
Mm.
And our next captain, I'm sorry, but I don't think everyone will agree with it, is Andy McGrath. He gets along with all the young kids, Caddy, Kako, Angus Clark, a bunch of the other kids that we have at the club. He's a great captain. He's a mixture of Zach Merrett's like passion and wanting to get better. He also kind-hearted personality of like a Dyson Apple.
Yeah,
and that's
beautiful blend.
Andy McGrath. I understand some people don't see him as a captain, but he's a person that's stuck loyal to this club. And he got drafted just after the saga.
He did.
And I think it was Parrish too. They both got drafted just after the saga.
Yes. Yep.
In 2016, they got drafted.
Yep.
So, yeah. Our next vice captain, you could probably say it could be a stepping up of a role of a new kid or someone's been at the club for maybe 2-3 years. I don't know particularly who that would be. It might be a Redman.
Nick Martin.
Be a Nick Martin, but again, as a football club, we don't stand by going behind our football club's back, going behind your own teammates' back.
Yeah. Well said, Buzz. I'm so sorry to cut you short, you legend. I'm so anyway. Sorry. I know you've been there for a while. You know I love you, and I just everyone's had lots of venting to do. So I love you, and I'll talk.
Get all the new people on, anyways. If I don't get a chance to speak, it's all right. Get all the new people on. Get everyone to say I've had my say around here, so it's all right.
That's why I love you, because you're so self-aware. Bless you.
I do want to build this fan base, and it's a great community to come to. So everyone, feel free to jump on. I don't mind if I don't speak for a couple of nights. Just get everyone else on.
Well done, Muzz. No, you're always welcome. So long as you're willing to hang out and wait for me, you're welcome to hang out.
I'll let you go. I'll be on Pommies and all that stream with you guys soon.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, I'll see you over there.
See you over there.
Oh, my God. I'm so sorry, Dave. You've literally got 2 minutes so I can go
and pee
before I come back on this live. I'm so sorry. Forgive me.
Pishade. Hey, that's okay. A couple of things. I hope everyone in the chat's doing okay. There's a bit going on in there. But
is there? What am I missing?
Jez is trying to nip it in the bud. There's some...
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
Let's go off topic a bit. We'll stay on Zach, but just go somewhere else. Brad Scott spoke about, what goes around comes around. So, expect to see a little bit of that going on. And he's got 2 years left, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's got 2 years left. So, I mean, if he wants to go, then he can stay for a year. And then with a year left on his contract, then we'll entertain it. And then Essendon can choose where he goes, because really he could guess who's going to have all the pickings in the draft in not this year, but next year will be Tassie. So he can fuck off to Tassie if he wants, and we'll take all of their picks.
Don't mind it. You've thought about this. I love it.
It's never happened before where a club holds a player. Well, I don't think it has to their deal. If he says now that he wants to go, we can just say no. You don't. You can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he's contracted and stuff. And I don't care whatever we can get for him. I think it's
we did do that with Danaher. We kept him after he requested a trade, and Sydney Swans did it with Papley. There have been a couple of examples.
Yeah, I suppose.
But I like where your mind went with getting thinking
Tassie.
If next year, for example, if the end of next year he ends up staying and he says he wants to go again, I don't mind it.
Yeah. Hold him to it. And he can, I mean, he's a professional. He needs to sit down with all the players and talk about it and stuff. And
But this is the thing, Dave. I thought he was a professional, but someone who goes to Sam Mitchell's house for dinner and then lets it be leaked is not a captain, is not a professional. That's someone who's who's being being blindsided by other people, is being manipulated, or is just wanting to hurt the club. That's not a professional. So I don't know what to expect from him now.
Mitchell's got form with this, though. That's how he got Barras from West Coast, and that he wined and dined him at his own home, and Mrs. Mitchell got whatever Sam's wife is and stuff. But if you see the footage of Sam Mitchell's face today, you know how he's got that smug look on his face when he talks sometimes? He had that look on his face when he was talking today. And I didn't find out about any of this until kind of midday. I got in the car at midday and just heard it happened to be on SEN because I've been trying to avoid it. And it was on. They were talking about it in that switch between Jared and Dwayne. And I'm like, I was just in shock. So, no, let's hope the club kind of stands firm on this. And it's just a wait and see, I suppose. But the Crichton medal is not until after the grand final, which means that we've got a fair amount of time to wait before we kind of hear anything else. But yeah,
I mean, I think Merrett is probably thankful for that, because if he does go, at least some of the water would have been flowed under that bridge.
Maybe that's why it was leaked now. Who knows?
Oh, I just can't fucking compute it. I can't in my head think if he was sober when he made this decision to go and have dinner at Sam Mitchell's house and then let it be leaked.
No, was it dinner though? It was 4 hours. They said it on.
So what's that?
Show.
What's that? So what's that? That's dinner, dessert, canapé, like canapés before. That's
they probably put their keys in a bowl at the time that they walked in as well. So there's probably a bit of action afterwards. Who knows?
I mean, now we're getting truly past the hour. All right, Dave, I'm so sorry. I got to go because I got to pee before I do this stream. Thank you so much for hanging on. You know, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you.
You will.
Good night. Oh my gosh. Chat, Kate, Sandra and co, thank you for reminding me, because I get so enthralled in these guests, and I want to give everyone the time of day to get their spiel out. Charlie, I think you said it's your birthday. If you're somewhere there and you said it's your birthday, happy birthday. Chat to you next time. You've been unbelievable tonight, chat. Please, if you are here and you have not hit subscribed on the channel, please do that. I'll keep you abreast all of the trade news moving forward. I am heading off to the Best of the Rest podcast with Kanga TV, Pommy and Oz, and Chris from Tigercast. You don't have to go anywhere. Stay on my channel. It'll be streamed to my channel as well. So you can, if you stream it through my channel, then you come through the chat as one of my guests. So do that. Don't go anywhere if you want to join that. It's a finals chat, and we go off track. So it's other stuff and a bit of finals chat. All right, everybody. Hit the like button as well on your way out. Thank you so much for everything, and I'll try and keep you as updated as I can with everything. Much love. Good night.